The stories that are most important to us are stories about me, you, and others. Such stories are about politics, economy, landmark achievements, institutions, sports, and entertainment.
Wonderful afternoon to you out there, all my teaming fans, family, friends, and well-wishers, and all of you, my very wonderful followers. How do you do today? If you are living in the United States of America, I want to say how has been the heat, and all over the world, how has been the global warming. If you are in Europe, how has been Europe, and if you are in Africa, how has been Africa. It's a wonderful day to meet you once again on the wonderful program, your show that talks about your opinion. Everybody's opinion matters, but your opinion may be different from mine. So, as much as I respect yours, I also pray that you respect the opinion of people that come on this program. My name is Aare Valentine Gbenga. People call me Gbenga Oropo, and some people call me Saint Valentine. So whatever way you know me, I'm still me, and I will always be me. So you're welcome to this wonderful edition where we are paying tribute to the Universal Archival Elders of Keggites Club International. We will be talking about what is Keggites Club, who are the people therein, when did it start, why did it start, and what is the relevance. There's a lot we're going to be talking about, and I have lots of big fishes in the pond today, not even in the pond, big fishes in the ocean today that will be discussing some of these very wonderful issues and the topic that we have today. When I come back after my introduction, I will be introducing my special guests to you all. Don't forget that this program comes your way Saturdays about this time. We have different content on the YouTube channel. If you are watching live now, I want to crave your indulgence. So please share to all your platform. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and you also will be watching us on TikTok live as I'm talking. So we're trying to take it to a very high standard. We're taking it to a new level wherein subsequently, we're going to be having like 6 hours to 8 hours non-stop program every weekend, Saturdays and Sunday. We need your help. We need you to be there for us. And we know that your support, whether physically, financially, morally, psychologically, will go to a very large extent to make sure that this brand is lifted beyond whatever we have now and will be able to take us to high places. Once again, my name is Aare Valentine Gbenga. I'm going to take a short break. When I come back, we will be discussing the program for today. We'll be discussing the topic for today, and then you will be getting to know who are the people that will be on my hot seat. I have quite a number of them. Don't change the dial because I will be right back. You're welcome back. The program is Your Opinion. And I have on my screen, on your screen too, Deliola Faith Daramola, a prince from Ileoluji, Ondo State. He was born in Lagos, schooled in Lagos, Osogbo, Ibadan, Oyo State. Ibadan, that's in Oyo State. He attended Lagos State College of Science and Technology, popularly known as Lacoste, which was transformed to Lagos State Polytechnic. He also attended University of Ibadan and the University of California. He is trained and certificated in clinical research and also has certificate in regulatory affairs for medical devices. He has worked with various multi-billion medical device manufacturing companies, liaising between manufacturers, the FDA, that is the Food and Drug Administration, and the end users. Essentially, regulatory affairs specialists and medical device report vigilance in various classes of medical devices by performing the required activities that assure compliance with FDA, domestic and international regulations, and proving skill in refining and maintaining systems for organizing and retrieving. and retrieving regulatory related information, looking to continue growing a career in medical device regulatory and clinical affairs. He lives in Indianapolis, but works as a project lead for a robotic medical device in California. Distinguished viewers, I present to you one of my discussants for today in the person of Deliola Daramola Faith. You are most welcome.
Thank you. Good
Also,
morning.
I have in the house our wonderful, beautiful, pretty doctor, Dr. Margaret Balogun, popularly referred to as Dr. Meg, is a visionary leader, educationist, and community developer with a very strong passion for community leadership, spiritual guidance, and educational excellence. With a robust background in educational administration and management, she has made a profound impact in her community through her tireless efforts to promote social cohesion, educational excellence, and community development. She is a double chieftaincy holder of Yeye Mesho and Erelu from two first-class obas in Ogun State in Nigeria. Recipient of the Integrity Leadership Award from a reputable university in South Africa, matron of the CNS Church Movement Ionio, one of the largest churches in Nigeria. She is blessed with biological and numerous adopted children, possesses a strong passion for cooking, dancing, and traveling, plus adventures. Exhibits exceptional qualities of humility, honesty, loyalty, and trustworthiness. She is a dedicated advocate for culture and tradition, with active membership in various socio-cultural groups. Long-standing member of the Keggites Club since 1982. Wow. Demonstrating her commitment to community and cultural development. Once again, I want to welcome you, Dr. Margaret Balogun.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
I have the pleasure of bringing to your viewing pleasure a man of timber, caliber, mahogany, iroko, obeche, gbedu, opoto, araba, igiom, and the likes. Akinbayo Akinyemi Ojagba Osuntoye was born at Agoiwoye to late Chief S. Akindeyinde Osuntoye. He attended the Mososi Wesley Primary School and also the Ibadan Grammar School in Ibadan. Later, he went to Muslim Teachers College, taught for some years both at modern school and at secondary schools. Later on, went to Ogun State College of Education. As fate will have it, there he was coronated as chief within Palm Wine Drinkers Club, aka Kako Onikumoekun, in the year 1983 to 1984. He migrated to Canada in search of greener pastures. He attended the Investigation Training Institute, worked within his orientation as a private investigator. He later attended Carleton University, where he graduated with Bachelor of Arts in Law. He was trained by former CIA instructors with a certificate as ACIP. He worked with these in very powerful assignments till he retired many years ago to the glory of God. Distinguished viewers, I have the pleasure of also introducing Akinbayo Osuntoye. You're most welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome. And I have also on my screen, on your screen, another giant in what we are going to be discussing today. He is Olufade Oluwole Joseph, aka Oluwowo Tiriwowo of Oluwo. He is a product of Lagos State College of Science and Technology, an educational institute where he joined the Keggites Club from about some 45 years ago. He rose through the ranks to become an LSF, a Life Senior Fellow, and also honored as a patron of Ilya Lacoste. He works presently as a behavioral health counselor in one of the best hospitals in Chicago. Distinguished viewers, I also have the pleasure of introducing Olufade Oluwole, aka Oluwowo Tiriwowo. You're most welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
This is glad to have you too. My wonderful, distinguished viewers at home, those are the big fish that I have coming from the largest ocean of discussions around the world. These principal players, principal characters in social cultural activity will be rubbing minds, will be discussing, will be having and sharing their opinion as regards the topic that we have today. What topic do we have today? You will know when I come back after this short intermission. Stay tuned.
The stories that are most important to us are stories about me, you, and others. Such stories are about politics, economy, landmark achievements, institutions, sports, and entertainment.
Yeah, welcome back. If you are watching, the program is Your Opinion, and today we are doing a tribute to the Universal Archival Elders Forum of Keggites Club International. What is Keggites Club? Who are the people in Keggites Club? Let me just quickly give you a brief introduction in my own little research. The Keggites Club, formerly known as Palm Wine Drinkers Association, is a social-cultural group in Nigeria, headquartered in Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria, founded in 1962. Keggites Club in Nigeria is divided into different hemispheres, popularly known as hemispheres, which gives rise to numerous areas spread across different tertiary institutions. The club had its first chief in the person of late Professor Olusegun Adesina. Since the formation, the club has undergone various kinds of transformation. For instance, the club has its first female member in the person of LSF Dupe Ajayi. She was the first female to join the club in 1968. In 1974, the club started spreading to other schools in Nigeria with Iyadu Tractor Federal College of Agriculture, Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria, as the first area to get a keg of office, which is accreditation from the world headquarters. This is just a brief introduction, but I will be inviting principal players in this particular industry, in this social cultural group, to come up stage and explain to us what Keggites Club is. I have, first of all, Akinbayo Osuntoye, aka Chief Kako. Chief Kako, can you just give us a brief insight? Quickly just tell us about yourself, your nomenclature as a carryable entity, and also give us an insight to Keggites Club.
Yeah, thank you. I have little to say, but I will tell you that Keggites Club, formerly Palm Drinkers Club, was more or less like those who formed it. They never thought it's going to be something bigger in this nature, because they just thought, okay, as students, let's go somewhere and drink palm wine. Thereby, then it started expanding to what it is today. And I am so fortunate to be part of the club, Palm Wine Drinkers Club, now Keggites Club. It's a club that every meaningful African we love to be a member. In the past, we have federalized people like the head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, Professor Alele Williams of the then Uniben, and a lot of dignitaries. And up to today, we are still enjoying the club.
Thank you so much for that. Because we have a time constraint, so I want to get people as involved as possible. And right now, I would like to also bring to your screen Bashorun Deleola Daramola. Bashorun, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning from this side of the divide.
Good morning to you. Quickly tell us a brief about you, apart from what I've read as profiling you, and then quickly tell us your own identity in the comradium, that is within the social cultural group, and tell us a little bit about the evolution of Keggites Club.
I think the authority to discuss the evolution from the start would rest on the first responder, Chief Kako. He's far older than me in the comradium, as we call it. But from my little experience, I had my fun, and it was far more, something that is so memorable, and I'm passionate about it. Today, because it's part of what I've lived with, we have another group in the US, and I happen to be the grand coordinator, which is more of a gathering of well-experienced, well-grounded individuals in the comradium. And by the grace of God, we're also coming together to start the Universal Archival Elders, which is a forum that recognizes our past contributions to enliven the memories of those years that we've been part of the comradium. So in a nutshell, I would say that it's a very good thing. The faces of individuals that are here today that I see while you were introducing us, these are truly giants who have gone through the comradium, and they all have the expertise, they have the experience, they have the knowledge to talk about the Keggites Club far more than I would do.
Thank you so much, Grand Court Bashorun. I so much appreciate that. Also, thank you so much for your contribution. I would like to bring this time around because we are very gender sensitive, not only on this program, but even in this social cultural group that we are talking about. And I have Dr. Meg. Dr. Meg, you look so gorgeous. How do you do today?
Very well. Thank you very much. And it's nice being with you today.
The pleasure is mine. Well, 1968, I think, if I'm not mistaken, correct me, we have the first female member of the Keggites Club. How has it been being a female in such a social cultural group?
Oh, thank you for that wonderful question. I can tell you, like in the Supremos Comradium, there's nothing like a woman. We are all the same thing. When we are gyrating, when we're, the only thing is the only thing you will notice is are the chiefs who will take the lead. But you cannot undermine the function of women in the Supremo, because as songitos, as those people who makes the gyration very beautiful. So, and in the Supremo, they appreciate women so much, though they don't see us, because when you go for gyration, all of us, we are the same thing. We don't, sometimes we go for gyration, you don't even take anything along. This just today that we started thinking, I want to make up. During those days, once you just grab your regalia, you are good to go. So it's a wonderful experience being a woman among the men, and they respect women, and most of the things, the way they handle women is so fantastic.
Well, I've been trying to shield myself from the identification because you find out that a lot of people will not know that I'm also a carryable entity. But I really want to stay. I mean, I don't want to stay in the background. I want people to know that I'm also one of, not one of, I'm one of us, not one of you. So now, being a member, how can you say that things has been from when you joined to what we are now? I'm beginning to dig a little bit into the topic for discussion. How has it been from when you joined? If I remember vividly in your profiling, you joined the Keggites Club like about 1982, 83. Am I correct?
You're very correct.
So how has it been down the line? We are looking at something like 40 years or more.
42 years precisely.
So how has it been in 42 years? Nigeria is about 60 something years old. So how has it been? You been a member of Keggites Club about for 42 years.
That's a million question you ask me, but I would like to mince words. The event happening now is something that is sad for me to note, because what we're having now is not what we experienced when I joined. When I joined it, you don't even think about anything. You just want to be where this group is. You feel so elated. You feel with joy, and you don't have any fear. But now, I don't think it's still the same. It's not the same story, and it is so sad. I can tell you that. I just want to leave it at that. It's not
Okay.
what we experience that is still happening now.
Okay, let me quickly build on that. Chief Oluwo, Oluwowo Tiri Wowo. Anyone jabata lẹ́yìn tó ń já tara wájú. I will try and explain in case some of our non-speakers or non-hearers of Yoruba language, once in a while, because we promote our culture, so once in a while you hear me speak Yoruba on this program. Patron Oluwo, you heard what Dr. Meg just said. What is your own perspective of the Keggites Club from since when you joined to now?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I would say it is a different ball game entirely. I'm on the same page with Dr. Meg, because when we joined a club that can be regarded as a family club, a club where respect is given to all that respect is due to. We take ourselves as one entity, irrespective of tribe, race, color. We are all one. And the club, one of the things that you love about the club is that everywhere is home for you. Either you are in Sokoto, either you are in Calabar, either you are in Ijebu, everywhere is home. And that is what brought most of us together. Probably if not for the club, I would not have been opportune to meet a person called Chief Kaku. I would not have been opportune to know people from the northern part of the country who are members of the club. But things has really changed from what we started with. The love is no more there.
Then why are you still in it? Then why are you still in it?
Because that is the only thing I ever believed in. The club. The club is like another religion to me personally. I've been there for 45 years, and when I still reflect the old days.
So Chief Oluwo, what were you looking at? What happened? Did you decided to just fold your hands? Because if you are 45 years old in in a social-cultural group. You should be an influencer. So what happened to you and your ilks?
Yeah, we are doing our best. We are doing our best. We are not relenting. We've not given. We are now trying to see whether we can come up with a group of elders, which can be a group that will be in position to really advise and then show us and then give us another way out of the problems that we are into now presently. A lot of things are wrong, and it is not going to take just few months to settle. We need to really work, and we are on it. We will not relent. We are still moving forward, and I know by God's grace, things will take shape soonest.
Grand Court, I doff my cocoa.
You walk.
Fire me and let me water you, bada. For those who don't understand, you are going to be earning a lot of vibration, and some of these we are going to explain when we get to the next segment of this program. Passion, Faith Damola, how old are you in the comradio?
Precisely, it's 41.
41 years old, and you have watched things go down the line. A lot of decadence from what your other colleagues have said. Why?
The answer is not far-fetched. The club was actually started among students. And the moment we all left school, there were no more students. There's hardly anything, or impact that we can have, because the structure when it was started didn't have in mind that there will be graduates that would still be interested. And interestingly, it's the reality of the world. I remember when I was very young, when my dad plays some songs or some music, I kept wondering, what is he enjoying in all this Dada Kwada? Or sometimes all this Fuji, when there are Kool and the Gang, all this modern day music that is danceable. But as I grow older, I found out that now they play raps. I sometimes ask, my kids, what's in all this? How are you enjoying all this? What is even saying? So coming from that, I'm having an idea that what they are doing today in school, that they still enjoy, I might have lost, touch with the reality. And so in order not to look like someone who is outdated, but still believe in the tenets of the club that we all grow with, I take my time to savor the memory. And that's why I jumped, in the train when a lot of us came together and say, hey, it's time for retirement. We just go there by our own choice, and whatever is happening there, we try to enjoy it and adapt. But to save all the memories of the good times that we had, we started Universal Archival Elders. In other words, it's a congregation of those of us who left school 35 years and above.
Okay. I have to punctuate here, because I don't want us to. I have my time when I'm going to go to the Universal Archival Elders, because this is actually a trip. But I want us to lay a foundation for what we are going to discuss. And Dr. Meg, I'm bringing you in here. There's going to be an interaction between you and the Grand Court, because you are custodian of culture and you are custodian of the ethics and the etiquette in the Comradium. Comradium means the mantra of Keggites Club. Am I in the right track?
Correct.
Okay, so now, I don't know if Grand Court is trying to avoid my question. I'm saying that for 40-something years that you guys have there, what happened to the decline? Now, he said something about maybe the vision of the progenitors did not see the foreseeable future that is going to become large. People are going to graduate from school. But in 42 years, what have you guys put in motion? What have you put in place to see that there's going to be a transition from when you leave school to when you get to the outside world? Dr. Meg,
Yeah,
please.
I want to say is oversight. I want to say it's negligence on some of us who are the elders, because Yorùbá ò pé kò kàn mí tó bá dijọ́ kan á fìdí wa jálẹ̀, you know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. One day it will now point at our face, and that is what is happening now. Just like Bashorun said, when we left school, we all pursue our careers. Somebody like me, I never looked back. I didn't know what was going on. I work with. I started my career with AJ Seward. From there, we moved to Lever Brothers. From there, we moved to Unilever, and I rose to the post of field sales manager. You can imagine the task. So I never looked back about what is happening until after I retired from work, and I'll say, okay, what do I have to enjoy myself? I revert to
But
Keggites.
without no amount to negligence of what you called your passion, without for those years of silence, those years of absence, without not amount to negligence that maybe kind of you stop liking the passion burnt out.
No, the passion was still there. Like I said, neglect, because if we had been, we still have the passion, we still have the love, but because we have something that overwhelmed us, we have, we got married, we had families, we have a lot of things, except, you know what I'm saying? Like when we were students, what we think about is just collect money, hand out, and you find a way to collect money. So people were feeding us. But now when we started feeding and having responsibility, we never look back. So to me, that is what I'm thinking. And at the end of the day, when we now have the time to come back, so many things has happened that we cannot change immediately. But over time, some steps, some may be drastic, some may be subtle, but over time, steps will be taken, which is what is leading one thing to the other. But unfortunately, some radicals will not want to take the steps that are normal, because number one, this club does not have constitution which we can review, which we can
Really?
we can say, okay, let's review this constitution so that we can change this thing. Something that is verbal,
So,
and they imbibe.
so in law, there's something called modus operandi, mode of operation. So how then do you operate if you don't really have a guide? Everything is like ṣe bí ìtàn bí àrọ́bá nìkan lẹ máa fi ń ṣètò ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu ni. Let me quickly throw that to Chief Kako. Chief Kako, you heard what Dr. Meg said. No constitution,
Yes.
not everything, no guide. So what is the modus operandi?
We won't say we don't have constitution, but they refer to it as selection. And the so-called selection, to me, is one-sided. A selection that will only protect one over the other, a chief over the other, and that is one of our problems. Like Dr. Meg and Bashorun have said, they are right. We left the school, we don't look back. And that's why there's no excuse for any one of us. We have to share the blame from what is happening now. I will give you an example. About 2 years ago, though I've gone back many times, I went to my Ile for the coronation. I met my Komladi grandfather there. I went because of him too. But what I saw, I wept. Because that was not the camaraderie we have. But because of our personal interest, by the so-called headquarters we have. It's where we find ourselves today. So we need to, I hope and I pray, this new forum will come up with an idea to correct the ills if we get it right.
Okay, gradually, as much as possible, I don't want you to drag me into the other part of the discussion. I'm still building on the foundation that we have said. Now, we keep talking about the decline in maybe the way things were when the those who had a vision for the club is a socio-cultural group, one of the strongest and biggest pressure group as a socio-cultural group, club in Nigeria and the whole of Africa. The spread is massive. Hardly will you get to any institution of higher learning that you don't have a Keggites club. Hardly. I can say that by the spread, 75 to 80% of all the tertiary institutions in Nigeria have a Keggites club. Not talk of those who are outside Africa. Now, what exactly are those things that has caused this moral decadence? After that, we are going to go for a short break, and then the language of the discussion will change. Grand Code, what are those things? I want you to identify the things that you think went wrong. Is it in hierarchy? Is it in the dispensation of the morals or the ethics that were created? What exactly are those things?
That's a good question. Without having to mince words, I strongly believe it's the infiltration of cultism. Because during our time, it's a taboo. It's a taboo. You can never be part of any cult or any club that is not open. If you are caught, if they see you by any association to it, you are gone.
Well, was that the reason? Was that the reason why they sang this song? I wish. Who is a better singer here? Mi ò lè ṣáwó, èmi ò lè ṣe ẹgbẹ́ òkùnkùn, mi lè ṣe ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu.
Pẹ̀lú pirate, oh.
So was that the reason why that song came up?
Oh yes, oh yes. At that time, you can never, by association, by any signal, outwardly or inwardly, display Kuti Farajo a little, you're gone. So it's a taboo.
Kílẹ̀ wá ń wò, kílẹ̀ ń wò tí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ wọ̀nyí tó fi ń darapọ̀ mẹ́gbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu, kílẹ̀ ń wò, kò sí process of, I know they used to call it initiation, now they call it transformation. But during, I would use the word initiation. I mean, the negativity in its semantic function is not important now. Kílẹ̀ ń wò, ṣé kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀, kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ ń wò tẹ́ fi ń yọ ipò kúrò lára àlìkámà ni?
Yes, there should be, and there has always been, because before you get either initiated or transformed, there's going to be TOK, test of credibility. They're going to put you through all the do's and don'ts, but over time, and I'm not going to say this publicly, but I was shocked sometime last year that my son, who happens to be in a private university, a university that it's Christianly and is very expensive, one day just came home and said, I am not attending this school anymore. There's nothing we didn't do. We asked our friends who are, judges. We asked family, influencers to talk to him. We had to look for another school. And now he's about graduating from another school after spending 3 years, came back to another school. And
what was his reason for not wanting
cultism? They tried to drag him into, cultism. And so I was shocked in a Christian, university, So you never can either undervalue. It's just like, what the country is today. The decadence is, permitting all sphere.
Okay. Let me just punctuate there. Tivoluo, let's look at it. What's your own? I want you to mention one. I think Grand Court has mentioned one. The influx of cult group into it. What other one? What is another thing that you can factor into this discussion?
Uh,
That
I will, I will go back to what Piliola has mentioned earlier. It is a structural problem. The system is defective. Like you said, you see, the founders of the club never look beyond the school days, and things have gone higher, far more than what it was then. And you see, in Yoruba land, you need people to mentor you. You realize that in those days, when a chief is made, I don't know whether it is designed that way. Most of the chiefs we had then were all matured, elderly. But these days, you have the young ones who are now chiefesses in the comradium. Most of them still need to be under the guide and guidance of their parents. And when they get there, they get unnecessarily intoxicated with power. And because of that, some are ready to go all the way, if it is power, to go out to go and look for power, either diabolically or by any way, spiritual power, anything they want to do. And that all those things came into the club and make the club a mess. And you see, the elders have not been looking. I remember in 1987, I want to be precise, 1987, there was a meeting that was held by some elders at the museum kitchen in Onikon, Lagos. It was then we noticed that we have problems and we need to address these problems. But at the end of the day, the elders were unable to move forward because all the ABC chief then were saying, no, your time is over. You have spent your time. Don't come and tell us what to do. And the fact remains that the power is with them because the school, the Keggites club, is a student club. So the elders could not move forward. And people were still taking...
Sorry, I'm going to quickly move a little bit before I come back to you. Chief Kako, do you agree with that statement that Keggites Club is a student club, or it was initially meant to be a student club, but became bigger? Because now there's an institution called the fellows mantra. Because when you leave school, you now become somebody who is bigger than the school level, and then you are fellowized and you are still a member. When you have done bigger things, mentoring, some other things, you become a life senior fellow of one of those areas. Now, do you agree that it's a student club? I want you to just touch base on that.
Like what Oluwale have said, it was initially student club because the founder doesn't know it's going to boomerang like the way it is now. But that's not the issue. Student club or no student club, at least we have fellowships. But our present generation, they don't give respect to elders. The backbone of comradium happens to be the fellowships because they are the working members of the club. When you don't respect the fellowships that are supposed to back you up, then you'll be left alone and start misbehaving. During my time, when I see my fellowships, they're like my lords. I live in 3-bedroom apartment. The fellowships are paying my rent. I don't even know how I eat, and I still have money in my pocket. I have food.
As a chief in a school.
Yes. In fact, I used to take lecturers out, and they will be asking me, "Why, Chief, what can we have from you?" But everything is upside down now. And
okay, I'm going to quickly give you an opportunity to go for a tea break. just take. I want you to sip your coffee, please. If you are watching, it's an opportunity for you to also be a part of this discussion. You can just go to the comment section. When I come back, I will be able to, excuse me, take a couple of comments that people have. If you have questions or you need clarity, maybe even on the languages that we have been speaking. If you want anything or you want to contribute to the discussion, I have Patron Oluwo, I have Chief Kako, I have Grand Code Deliola, and I have LSF Meg in the house. I'll quickly take this time out. When I come back, the story is going to change and you are going to be a part of it. Don't change the dial. The show continues.
The stories that are most important to us are stories about me, you, and others. Such stories are about politics, economy, landmark achievements, institutions, sports, and entertainment.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining, the program is Your Opinion, and this is a tribute to the Universal Archival elders. We are just moving from the first phase, going gradually to the second phase, and we are discussing some topics about Keggites Club International. But very, very shortly or very soon, we will be moving into a broader look into what is the Universal Archival elders. But before we do that, I want to quickly say this or ask this lady and gentlemen. A lot of people have this impression that low life people are the one that join Keggites Club. But in my little research, I found out that we have big people, senators, ministers, governors, even presidents of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as members. Can you please just show some light on this? Let me start with Dr. Meg.
I Googled when you said low life. Just like we were saying, the club started with students. And we're all saying that these students have grown up to be president. From the Keggites Club, they've grown up to be obas. They've grown up to be very commendable people in the society. So definitely that is an understatement. So in the Keggites Club,
but I'm very sure you know that even while we were in school, a lot of people see Kegite members are these are dysfunctional. These are people who don't have time to study. They just want to play.
Let me sing for you. Comrado tó bá fẹ́ di comrade, comrado ní láti lọ́gbọ́n lórí. Comrado ní láti níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́. So, if you want to join the comrades, you need to be intelligent. When we were in school, Friday, I just threw my book somewhere at gyration. You just drop your bag somewhere and the bus is waiting at the door and you just jump into it. Maybe you are already you are in the northern hemisphere, you are in the eastern hemisphere, you're everywhere. And you come back and you perform wonders more than those ones that kill themselves with studying. And that's the kind of people that are in that. We are smart. We are intelligent.
Grand Code.
Yes, sir.
Were you also involved in all those Ajala the traveler going around gyrating from North Pole to South Pole, having those escapades? Your parents will not even know where you are. Were you ever involved in those things too?
Like 75% of the fun in the Keggites in our time, it's traveling. And the most fearful part of the whole thing of this traveling is we don't even know the condition of the vehicle. And we start the journey like maybe
Thank God.
1 a.m. or
Thank
12.
God. Thank God my parents are no longer alive. If they hear this, they will say this is what I've been doing when I was in school.
Yeah, that's all we do. I remember one particular one, and I think Patron Oluwo would remember. I believe we were going towards Ikorodu or something like that. And at that time, road safety, we have all these zero checks. Unlike today, where there is DUI. Even the driver, he happens to be the only one that can drive, and is a student. And he was drunk, and we were driving, and at night. And I think we were going to Ikorodu or something, and we had a bad tire. And for like 15, 20 minutes, even the driver was gone, sleeping. And like a miracle, someone just came, or somehow, we don't know, and they asked if we have spanners, if we have all those stuff to change the tires. They found the tires, and it's been deflated. There's no air in the tire, and it was around maybe 1 or 2 a.m., and we were all gyrating, and we were all having fun, enjoying it. Turn on all the lights until another vehicle came and helped us change the tire, gyrated with us, and we move on. That memory of risk, all from Ife towards Ondo,
But does that
long road.
I think you are corroborating what I'm saying. Does that not measure up to some form of unseriousness where where your mates are reading in school? How do you reconcile that?
I think God has a way of helping our brains, but there was
Because
no
I
study.
don't know how people like you now became big men, Chief Kako becoming almost a CIA person because he's been in the intelligence community for a while. You, as big as you are, see Dr. Meg, double title chief. I mean, how were you able to reconcile all these diversities?
I think it's the way God wires our brain, and people don't know. For you to become a chief at that time, there is what's called elder sittings. Those elders will look into your academics. You must be top notch. Whoever becomes a chief during our time will be a student. Will be a student. And interestingly, it's just like me being the grand court. I'm just first among equal, meaning that every one of us can become, a chief at that time, or most of us at that time. Very smart people, but you don't know. And I'm sure some of my colleagues in school, if they are watching this program, they know how very much on serious that I was at that time. Not even by Keggites. I was into sports. I was into politics of school. I was into class management. I was into many things. But I just need to be in class. And that's it. So if you measure my playfulness with my intelligence, you are done for. And I was a student, but you never see me sit down and read. So I think it's the way God wires every Keggite's brain. Or if you love fun, I think that's the way it is.
Chief Kako.
Yes, sir.
You were a chief when you are still a chief, but you became a chief when you were in school.
Yes.
How did you cope being a chief? And what is the reconciliation with academics?
Let me quickly give you this song we used to sing then. Ma fi sílẹ̀, ma mẹ́mu lọ. Ma fi sílẹ̀, ma mẹ́mu lọ. Bíwé tí mo kà kò bá yé mi o. Ma fi sílẹ̀, ma mẹ́mu lọ. During that time, if you are not good academically, hey, you will fall by the roadside. And we used to have something then. As a member of Comradium, you fail woefully, you will be dekegged and get out of the club.
What is dekegged?
Dekeg is sending you out of the club because we realize that then the club is disturbing your future life. So don't give us bad name.
So you will be dismembered.
you dismembered in those days then. And before you can become a grand lord or a chief, your academic performances, they have the right to write to the student affairs and say, okay, these are the people we are looking into, give us their academic performances. And I will say it today, if I wasn't so brilliant, I won't have the opportunity to dekeg my head of department for going against the norms of comradium.
Your head of department in the comradium or in school?
He happens to be my LSF. He's a lecturer. He was a lecturer. May his soul rest in peace now. Because
okay. Now we are getting to the hot seat. Distinguished viewers at home, we are going to be talking about the strength and the powers of his chief when I come back. We're going to be talking about the Keggites. What are the value standards that are necessary for anybody to be decayed? Why would anybody be decayed? That means that why would anybody be seen as not relevant again in the club? I'm going to take a short break, and when I come back, I will be delving into the real issue for today, which is the Universal Archival Elders. Who are they? Why did they evolve? And then we'll be talking about other salient issues. Let me quickly take this short break, swallow some saliva, and take a shot of my tea. I'll be right back after this time out.
Bí àgbà ò bá sí nílùú nílùú ń bàjẹ́ bí baálé ilé bá kú ní ilé lè dahoro. Ẹgbẹ́ àgbà ẹlẹ́mọ̀ the Universal Archival Elders will be having its inaugural declaration on Saturday, the 13th of July 2024. Ìfilọ́lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ àgbà ẹlẹ́mọ̀ láti gbé àṣà àti ìṣe ilẹ̀ wa lárugẹ. Ọjọ́ náà yóò dùn yóò lé kéńkà. The celebration will be coming up at the Ramada Plaza by Windham, Chicago North Side, 1090 South Milwaukee Avenue, Wheeling, Illinois. Ẹgbẹ́ àgbà ẹlẹ́mọ̀ the Universal Archival Elders, an assembly of archival chiefesses, patrons and matrons, life senior fellows and inconcorons. The day we also witness the conferment of chieftaincy title on eminent Nigerians, inauguration and no-taking of executives. Oríṣiríṣi ètò láti làsílẹ̀ fún ayẹyẹ má lè gbàgbé yìí. Ìgbínwó ìkòròwò ń ta bájíjọ wò gẹ́gẹ́ ló ń gún. Aago mẹ́rin ni ètò yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀. Program will start by 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Nigerian Time. It will be beamed live on Facebook and YouTube. Just search for Universal Archival Elders or visit Valentine Gbenga on Facebook or YouTube. To all I am carried and Supremos Comradium in the whole galaxy, I rotate my one finger salute. LSF Valentine Gbenga, your informer General Asoju Agba for the Universal Archival Elders.
The stories that are most important to us are stories about me, you, and others. Such stories are about politics, economy, landmark achievements, institutions, sports, and entertainment.
You're welcome back. The program is Your Opinion, and this is a tribute to the Universal Archival Elders of Keggites Club International. Well, let me just quickly take a brief to tell you that we are talking about Keggites Club International. Now, I'm going to go into some aspects that will lead us into talking about the Archival Elders. First of all, we have talked about all the incidents that happened. Now we are going to talk about the powers. Why, if there are no constitution, how come some people have so much power to steer the wheel the way they want? Why? Now, when you are out of school, what is the relevance? If those that left school and are not chiefs become fellows, how come that those that have left school and maybe they are chiefs or chiefesses have so much strength? I want to bring in one of our big Fish, to quickly address this. Chief Kako.
Thanks so much. Can you please?
Yeah, we want to talk about the powers, usually referred to as the powers that be, especially of those of you that were chiefesses when you were in school. After school, some of you become so powerful. Why people like Dr. Meg were talking about, oh, maybe not paying so much attention, not being given so much recognition after school. Chiefesses retain their power and kind of even multiply their own power. So, what is the difference?
Personally, I would say there's no absolute power by any chief. But at the same time, let's put Comradium like a nation. The power that can remove the president lies within the Senate. That's what they call impeachment. The power that can remove governor is impeachment. So also we have a power that can remove a chief that uses his power, I will say irrationally. There's nothing like absolute power. You can't say, okay, so, I've offended me, I'm going to decay. No, you must have got a tangible reason to say, okay, and you can't take that decision alone. During our time, we don't take decision alone to discipline. The Keggites is discipline. And don't forget, after we are grown-ups. A grown-up should be able to abide by the simple rules and regulations laid down by the club. When you are disciplined and you don't go against those norms, there's no way any chief whatsoever, be what chief, can come and say, I'm going to decay that fellow. As far as I'm concerned, if I happen to be there, I'm not going to be in support of that.
Yeah, your support, even if you are not in support, Grand Court, I'm putting this to you by the virtue of situation that we have right now. You, a Grand Court that has been in the Comradium for over 40-something years, a 21-year-old boy in one of the institutions in Nigeria today, if he has a misunderstanding with you, can decay you. True or false?
True, very true. But there is a but to it. He can pronounce it, and if I strongly believe that that pronouncement is not right, there are so many other ways to get around it. And unfortunately, that's the way it is. Someone can be a chief or a ward chief and sit somewhere.
My question, because like I said, now you guys are going to be on the hot seat and there's going to be fire burning you. So there are ways to it. What can you do about it? A 21-year-old has decayed a 60-year-old Grand Court and is making history. He's going into the Guinness Book of World Records. What will you do about it? And if you say that things can change, how will it change?
Well, like I said, yes, he can do it. It's like he has that power. In the Comradium, a chief is a chief.
Who gave the power? Because I heard that there are no constitution. Who gave the power that he has the power?
The day he's been coronated, he has that power. And that's why you witness them say, by the powers conferred on me, and they refer to that day and the Irumoles that gave them that power. You see, the problem is not about the pronouncement or doing it. The problem is that absolute power and the shroudness of that power in silation. Chief Kako, with all respect, has more knowledge because he's a chief, and I don't have that knowledge of silation.
Okay. I'm taking the call from your court because I'm going to be punctuating people because I want a lot of contribution from me. Chief Kako,
Yes, sir.
Somebody has spent 40 years in the Comradio, has been from from being initiated, maybe became a dromito, head of he become the head of whatever commissioner for gyration, left school, became a fellow, life senior fellow, became a patron. There was a misunderstanding, or there is a misunderstanding, and then there's a 400 level student of one university in the southwest, and he decided to decade that. What are the checks and balances?
Firstly, let me say it. Misunderstanding doesn't really mean you can decay. I will quickly put it this way. When we joined the club, we said, when you are with your regalia, you cannot hold poison like beer and everything. Then you cannot say, because now I've left school, I'm 60 years old, I'm 70 years old, I can wear my regalia and put my beer here. Hey, if a chief should see you then and decay you, I think that chief is right.
Because there are norms.
But for any chief, to say I'm a chief, I will decay irrationally.
But what are the no, hold on, Chief Kako. What are the yardstick for measuring irrationality? How do we know?
Irrationally is when you just decay without having a backing.
Are there consultations before you decay?
To me personally, I do. Let's take for instance, when Basharu was about to be given the patron, I called all the GVCs around at Indianapolis. And I said, this is my intention. What do you think about it? So you have to carry everybody along.
No. Chief Kako, I am going to beg your pardon because I want Chief Patron Oluwo to say this. I'm still saying what are the consultations. Now, at a gyration ground or at a forum where you have some Keggites or maybe even one or two chiefs, a declaration can just be made because of an incident that just happened. And before you know it, Patron Oluwo has been decayed because there is a misunderstanding on who plays the drum. Well, Patron Oluwo, who are those people that you consult? Because we are talking about checks and balances now.
You see, like Chief Kako has rightly said, and the Grand Court, normally a chief can see an offense in a comrade, or let me use the word in a Congo, and feels that it is a decayable offense. In our days, he is supposed, in most cases, they consult with each other there.
So there are no instantaneous decagation.
No. But in some, even when you see a situation whereby a chief wants to do anything, it may not even be a decagation, it may be a suspension. You see, to make it fun, immediately the chief calls the attention of other chiefs. You will see everybody shouting, chiefs, mercy, oh, mercy, oh, mercy, oh, mercy, oh, mercy, oh. And before you know it, other chiefs will move around to him and they will talk to each other. And at the end of the day, it was okay. Oh, the person is hereby suspended for 2 minutes, and everybody will laugh. But these days, like we are saying, that we have a structural problem. We have a problem where power is really intoxicating some of our members, our chiefs to be precise. They just want to use this power. They want to show that I am the chief. I am here. I am
okay. Dr. Meg, what's your own take? Because I want this calabash to go round.
Yeah, I'm still of the opinion pé amúkùn ẹrù ẹwọ́ wọ́n ní òkè lẹ̀ ń wò ẹ̀wò ìsàlẹ̀. All these things we're talking about is just the abrogation of power. Too much power that has been given from, just like you ask, who gave this power? It is school setup, not outside. It is not supposed to go outside. So now that they go outside, it has become absolute power, no check and balance. There is no sane setup
that you not have check and balance. Who does the thief check with before they carry out their intentions? You just see somebody in the gyration ground and say, and they bring up calabash and they broke it. Who does that? So all these things have started from beginning. And like I said, there has been negligence from people we elders, because we did not check with these boys. Mójútó wọn, òrìṣà tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá mójútó, ìrókò tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ti ṣe, ó máa gbẹ́bọ. So now we are crying wolf where there's no wolf. Àti gbé àwọn ọmọ ìléyìn láti school. Eyín yìí ti grow, they are now biting everybody without even checking who to bite or not to bite.
I was reading an excerpt recently on a platform, and I think there was a kind of, it was among the students. So I think that the writer of that particular piece just graduated from school. And the person was saying that once you are out of school, you are no longer under the Keggition processes because you are no longer a student. Now, another person now wrote and said that as long as you are a member, if there's any performance against the laws, the ethics and etiquette of the comradium, you can be declared. Chief Kako, what's your take on that?
I think that is right.
Which of them is right?
Let's call it. Pardon me?
Which of them is right? Is it the former, the person that said as long as you're out of school, or the person that said as long as you're a member?
If you remain a member of comradium, you are bound to abide by the rules and regulations, either written or unwritten. If you are in violation of the norms of the club, you are presenting yourself to be decayed or suspended.
By irrespective of the level of that chieftaincy, whether the chief is in school or out of school.
It doesn't matter. A chief is always a chief. A chief is a chief. Let me quickly say this. Before I became a chief, I was for many years a fellow. Oluwa can testify. I have younger people who are chiefs before me, like Bambo. May his soul rest in perfect peace. When I go to Lagos, either for their mini tapping, they are younger. I never misbehave myself because I've said it. If you don't want to abide by the rules and regulations of the club, whether you are in school or out of school, and you want just to ignore the norms, hey, you are just putting yourself in a corner whereby you can be decayed or suspended. So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you still remain a member of the club, you are bound to abide by the rules and regulations of the club.
Good. Thank you so much for your contributions. I hope you are following. I also want comments from, especially if you are a member of this great club. Now I'm going to, like I said, we are doing a tribute to the Universal Archival Elders. Bashorun, you are a grand court, and to the glory of God, you are the leader of the group. I want us to delve into the reason why we are here. What is the Universal Archival Elders, and who are the constituents?
This is the best illustration for U.S. Archivarian elders. If either secularly or by any measurement you are at a workplace, the universal measurement is before you are 65 or 35 years in service. Whichever one, you are deemed to retire. And the Yorubas will say that Kojuma Ribi or Keyon Pelaye Eyamu Kombe. If you want to live long, you will see some things that's gonna, irritate you. And you just need to learn how to live with that. So we are seeing so many things that are very irritating. Um, Too many to even, relate with. Even the way those kids, and permit me to use that word, are, portraying the Keggites to the outside world is very, very disheartening. And because we are passionate with this, we felt we should retire. We felt that we should be retirees. And the best way to do that is to come together as elders and enjoy that period that we really enjoyed it, and bring it back to life now. And so we came together, I think precisely, it was January 1st. A lot of people who saw, are coming out are thinking because of one incident or not. No. If you are a member of Universal Archival Elders, if you go to the profile, you see the date, that the group was formed. It was formed basically not to have any confrontation or to have any idea as against the umbrella. We just want to have fun. We just want to be together and look back at our lives at that time and laugh, and which is what we do. And over time, we came together to say the Keggites Club were formed from the African tradition and culture, and that it is high time we actually represent this tradition and culture. And that's exactly what the plan is. One, to be non-governmental. Two, to be registered legally in the United States. Three, to throw it open to the whole world, because we have all our members all over the world. We have in Nigeria, we have in UK, and we have in North America, in America here. We found out that if you take a statistics of Keggites who have passed through university, or at one time, was a student, our population is well over 12 million. I mean, imagine as we graduate every year as Keggites. If you say schools in Nigeria are, for ease of arithmetic, say 50, and say 50 people graduate every year as Keggites. Imagine since 1962. Imagine our population. But today, out of these over 12 million, we have less than maybe 1.2 million, maybe 1 million that are very active. And why? Because Ojuti Ribi. A lot of people, you meet them. I remember one time when we had our world gyration, and it was broadcasted through the social media, and someone came to me. I think I was in New York. I was traveling back to Indianapolis, and we started talking and gisting. And behold, he's a surgeon and he's a carryable soul. And he told me categorically he would never join again. And I asked why. He told me his experiences when he was in Nigeria. After leaving school, he attended the gyration, and fight broke up, and they were shooting and all those crazy stuff. And I said, we are here in the US, and such things will not happen. If you enjoyed it at that time, at least attend one of our gyrations. And that's why I'm there. And I told him how every year in November we go, come together and enjoy it. But I've been trying to get him to, attend. He has not. So, and there are many of them like that. So that's what US Universal Archival Elders is all about. To look for those of us who have enjoyed it at that time and enjoy it now. And that's what we're doing.
Okay. Chief Kako, now with the creation of this new forum, the Universal Archival elders. Is there any way that this can serve as a check or balance for the existing hierarchy that we have in the comradium?
Yes, my answer is yes. It's possible if we know what we are doing. In the sense that we are all elders. When we say what these kids are doing, we don't like it. Then what are we still doing among them? Let them realize what you are doing will not warrant me to be with you.
Does that mean that you are no longer, because if you say with them, does that mean that you will dismember yourself, or rather cut away
No,
from?
no.
So how do you mean by not being a part of them?
You don't dismember yourself. You are yourself. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows you as Aare. Everybody knows Faith as a patron. But these young boys, when they are doing their own thing, we need to stay aside. Madam Similara, those boys, they have no respect for anybody. If you don't respect me, I won't be with you. I don't believe in the idea that if you cannot beat them, join them. If I cannot beat you, why can't I stay neutral? That is a cowardice statement. Let them know that what they are doing is not good. But within the elders forum, we can have a stipulated idea that we guide those what they are doing that we are going against.
Okay, Chief Kako. Please take a breath. Patron Oluwo, let me give a rider to that question that I just asked him. Do you, by any chance, see the universal archival elders? Do you see it as becoming that look towards thing that everybody out of school will want to aspire one day, want to reckon with? Do you see it getting so big that it becomes the authority at the end of the day for the Keggites Club?
I see it so, and that is why we are coming together. Our role is going to be advisory, but by the time we are coming up with things we have in mind, I am sure the authority too will buy from it. We have a lot that we are planning to make sure that a lot of things are corrected from the present situation we have in the comradium. Because as it is now, the comradium is in big challenge. I don't want to use the word problem. Things are not right, and we need to do something. There are a lot of elders groups that have been trying. I know a lot of them. I know 1 or 2, 3 in Lagos or in Nigeria. Let me use that word, in Nigeria. They've tried their best. When it seems the thing is going right, at times you see some of these guys coming up to make sure that it doesn't work. But we as Archival elders, we are going to try our best, and I know it is going to work. I want to believe God has ordained this group to do wonders, to do a lot, to get the comradium into the right position where it is supposed to be.
Dr. Meg.
I want to say this, sir. You see, it gives most of us a lot of concern. When I see the comradium the way it is now, at times I feel like crying, like weeping.
Weep not, child.
Yeah, I'm going to use myself as a case study for you now. When all things were bad, and I thought that is the end of the old world, it was the comradium that gave me a new life. I was there, rusting away in Nigeria, when the comradium says, please come and beat the drum for us at the World Generation. And that is how I got to America. So how do I leave such a club? that club means a lot to me.
Yeah, okay. I will later come to the benefits, but I want to quickly dig to now. Dr. Meg, you've heard what your contemporaries have said. You guys are giants in the club. Do you also feel that the Universal Archival elders can get to a level where you have a mandate, maybe one day rewrite or even write the constitution of the Keggites Club?
To the glory of God and with teamwork, I believe that is what this Elders Forum is meant for. We're supposed to be the shining star that will pave way for where people have been misled or we have misleading situation as àgbààgbà. They said àgbà kì í wà lọ́jà kí orí ọmọ tuntun wọ́. We are standing, we are coming up to say orí ọmọ yìí wọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká tún ṣe. It is not going to be an easy job, but I believe with the likes of the people we are having on board, we're going to get there. Yeah. Things are not really the way we wanted it, and we're coming together. And I believe when we have that focus, when we put that strength with the passion with which we're doing this stuff, I tell you, it's going to be a challenge. But I tell you, if you are strong and we hold to ourselves, we're going to do it. It's not easy task because this thing has been long, but we can do it.
Okay, Chief Kako, she just talked about challenges now. I remember some things that happened some time ago when the Keggites Club began to have some infiltration and was almost tearing apart. Can you quickly just give us an insight to why and what actually happened? And would that pose a challenge to the Universal Archival elders? Like we have the Keggites Club International, we have the supremest Keggites Club International. What led to this? And do you think anything like that can also pose a challenge or a threat to the elders, the archival elders?
Firstly, I don't think that one can pose any threat to archival elders. The problem is a kind of power tussle between the so-called headquarters and national headquarters. Our founding fathers, they didn't give us world headquarters. They didn't give us national. But this power tussle, I remember the power tussle started when world headquarters is saying, and then they wanted to start saying,
which one is the world headquarters? Which one is the for the sake of those who don't understand what we're saying?
Obafemi Awolowo University and University of Ibadan.
I want you to express for that. World headquarters is like the whole galaxy headquarters. National headquarters is like the headquarters for Nigeria, right?
Can you can say so, but it wasn't given to us like that.
So how did we get there?
Now, that is what I'm saying.
Very briefly, please.
Yes, the founding fathers didn't give us world headquarters, national headquarters. It's a case of absolute power corrupt, absolute power corrupt, absolutely. And that's when the tussle started between Ife and UI. I remember there was a time Ife wanted to say non-NYC oriented institution can never be a member of Keggites. Whereas the most credible ones then were the ones that are not NYC oriented. We were the last set of NC to serve. So that's the problem. And another problem is this. I keep on emphasizing on this. Any organization that is not disciplined will never last. It will collapse along the line. When I say discipline, before I as Kako can say, you cannot, I don't want to see you with beer and your regalia. And here is Chief Kako wearing a regalia with a beer in his pocket. Then will I be justified to maintain discipline? No. Thank God I don't drink. So
You don't drink. Please, you don't drink. You drink water.
I
You
don't
drink
consume alcohol apart from palm wine. I don't.
Okay, Chief Kago, take a breath. Now I'm coming back to the Grand Code. Who actually happens to be the patron of this, the Archival, Universal Archival Elders? And I'm putting this to you. I want you to listen very attentively, and I want all my viewers out there to please listen attentively. This is the mission statement of the Universal Archival Elders. It says, we will use our secular experience and influence to work for peace, love, justice, and a sustainable Keggites club of yore. We will engage with global leaders and civil society through private diplomacy and public advocacy to address essential comradic threats, promote global solutions, and encourage ethical cultural leadership that supports the dignity of all worldwide Keggistic members in particular and human beings in general. Grand Code.
Sir.
To address existential comradic threats, such as what?
When LSF, Dr. Meg was supporting the idea that Chief Kako and Patron Oluwo were adducing to the objectives of the Universal Archival Elders, I was going to say something that we intend to be a mirror. There is a clinical research, and permit me to be a little secular or professional outside the Keggites. There was a research where animals, or the closest animal to human, which is ape, that if you keep ape with other animals cannot copy the ape or do what the apes do. If you put a human being in a cage with an ape, the ape would only try but cannot do like the human being. But unfortunately, if you put a human being from cradle with an ape, the baby will be doing like an ape, will be crawling with the four legs, will be blabbing and doing all kind of stuff. The essence of that is that when you have people who are the mirror, what you do, you mirror it to the world, is the best way to teach people. And just like Chief Kako said, he cannot be caught wearing a regalia and having a bottle of beer or poison, as it's been, said in the comradium, because he knows that that's an offense, that's a taboo, and there are so many like that. So if you say you're an elder to correct all these anomalies, our intention and objective is to mirror it, and is to demystify some of those myths that rose up within the comradium that are baseless, that doesn't even make any sense. Without us pronouncing it, we want to mirror it. We want to do exactly what we believe that the comradium should be by the way we do it, without having to shake the structure, without having to change anything, but mirror by integrity, mirror by careerability, mirror financially, mirror by being trustworthy. That's what elders does. They look out for peace, they look out for love, and we're going to preach that to the whole world so that among themselves they see that love does not exist where there is war. And lastly, let me say this, and to our viewers or wherever they may be in the whole world, anybody, anyone who is into cultism, it may take a little while. They are not successful if you are still a Keggite, because you cannot shikusheye. I've seen it, I've experienced it. If you put one leg out there in the cultism or in the cultic world, and you put another leg in the comradium, you will never be successful. So it's either you are just a year or pirate or anything you want to do. You have the right. Don't come to the LMU. That's the major problem. That's
so what are you going to do about it? Chief Oluwo, I want you to take it off from there. Okay, if they are there already. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to flush them out? Are you going to decay them? What are you going to, even if you know? There are some of them that you know, some of them are your friends. I'm not going to name names. Like you said, there's nothing wrong in fraternizing, but don't bring a shovel and call it a spade. But now it's existing. What are you going to do about it, Patron Oluwo?
Yeah, like we said, you see, we can only advise people. The only thing we can do is to advise. We are going to show the way.
Your advices is not going to support the system.
There is nothing we can do. We can't force ourselves on them, on the comradium, because the body that controls the comradium is different from this body called the Universal Archival. The structure is still there, right from the world headquarters down to all aliases. The only thing we can do is to come up with ideas that we think will help out, and then make necessary consultations with people. We consult and talk to every one of us, but that we can force them to do something that we feel this is what we should do. It's not going to work. It's really not going to work. But we will do our best. We cannot let everything out in the air now. But I know we have our ways. We have what we want to do to go about it. And I can assure you, in no time, people are going to see good results.
Okay. Let me quickly talk to our viewers at home. We can see that we have a large viewership right now. And if you're just tuning in, the program is Your Opinion. And this is a tribute to the Universal Archival Elders from that big sociocultural club called the Keggites Club International. So please, can you just share? This is going on live, but even after the program, you can still share, so that there's a lot of things that are, educative, informative, that you see on this platform. And I'm hosting this wonderful Saturday morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. I have Deliola Daramola, the Grand Court of Universal, the U.S. Archivarian, and also the the Basharon for the Egbeagba Elemu. I also have Chief Kako in the house, Akimbayo Osuntoye. I have Olufade Oluwo, aka Oluwowo Tiriwo, and I have LSF Meg. That's Margaret Balogun. We have been discussing. You can always go back to go and watch it all over again. So if you have any question that you want to ask them about what we are discussing or about anything that is comradic in concurrent, please type it in the comment section, and then I'll be able to do justice to that. Okay, LSF Meg.
Yes, sir.
George Orwell wrote in his book, Animal Farm, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the other. In your elite forum, the Universal Archival, are you all equal? Ṣé àparò kan ṣó ga jù kan lọ? Let me start from there.
Thank you very much. When you check the age range of those people who are in the group, aside Chief Kako, we are all in the same age grade. That makes us all colleagues. We are elders. So we address ourselves like elders. Àparò kan ò ga jù kan lọ. No chases, no Mati, no whatever. We don't even call ourselves LSF because we see ourselves like equal, colleagues, family, brothers and sisters. So that's got to tell you that we are
béèyàn
of
bá
the
ń tàn mí mi ò
same.
ní tanra mi béèyàn bá ń tàn mí mi ò ní tanra mi èèyàn méjì pàdánù ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n bá ń tàn ò bá mọ̀ pé wọ́n ń tàn òun àmì bí ẹni tí wọ́n ń tàn ò bá mọ̀ pé wọ́n ń tàn òun ẹni tó ń tàn yẹn ṣáà mọ̀ pé ó ń tàn yẹn ẹ jẹ́ sáré yànnà náà lédè Yorùbá má dẹ̀ sọ lédè òyìnbó náà tó bá di lọ́jọ́ kan ọjọ́ kan tí Ṣàngó lé Chief Kako bá gùn tó gbẹ́gùn Ṣàngó wọ̀ tí Ilá bá fẹ́ dì lásà as a chief, because despite the fact that he's a member of the Achival elders, tọkàn wo pé grand god ọmọ ṣe mọ ọya igbá rẹ dà ẹjẹ àfọ. It takes an
Not
emblem.
in elders, not in Achival elders. No space for that. Nothing like that. We don't even have anything iota of that superiority.
Mo ń bọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ń kàn yín a ṣe ń bọ̀rọ̀ bọ̀ ní eégún eléré chief Petro Olúwo ilẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn what do you say to that? Because the chavises that you have in that elders forum mo mọ̀ tábà ní kàkà ní méjì mẹ́ta wọn ò tó méjì mélòó kan.
ọjọ́ yẹn ò lè dé láéláé. That day will never come. Kò ní dé láéláé. Ẹgbẹ́ àgbàlá pé we call it the elders group. We have something that is bringing us together. I will never deviate from that. We are bonded together.
Mo ti gbọ́ ẹ ṣe sùúrù. Báṣọ̀run Àgbáòyè. Tó bá di lọ́jọ́ kan ọjọ́ kan, tá a bá fẹ́ yọlá kúrò lára àlàsà, tẹ́gùn bá gun Chief Kako àbí kan àwọn chief tó wà nù one of the chiefesses in your controlled forum will still remain as may the case never arise or the gods are in black and white.
Interestingly, it was Chief Kako himself that came up with the idea. He said it and we held on to that. And everyone that has ever been a member, we are holding on to that same belief.
That what?
That Aparoko, that's his word, Aparoko Ugajukonlo. He made it very simple for us that.
Well, is that a common denominator among every member, including all the chiefesses in this?
Correct, correct.
Yes.
Today we are 26. We have about 14 chiefesses out there. We're all elders. Every one of us elders.
Okay. Chief Kako.
Sir.
Ẹnu oníkan láti gbọ́ pọ̀n.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Tí n bá léegun bàbá mi ó jó, èmi mo léegun bàbá mi bí n bá sì ní òjò mọ́.
Kó má bọ́ síta.
Ẹ̀yin lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ àparò kan ò ga jù kan lọ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àmọ́ Yorùbá tún wá ní kàkà kíkì ni wọ́n ṣàkápò ẹkùn kólúkálukú ó ṣọdẹ tiẹ̀ lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀. Ṣé kò ní dọjọ́ kan ọ̀dọ̀ kan? Ta ni?
Ẹ ṣe olótù. Inú igbó tóbi fún ẹranko láti ṣọdẹ tiwọn lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀. Ṣé ẹ rí? If we really wanted to correct the ills, we at the Achival Forum, we have to take each other as one. And that was what I meant when I said even the women in our midst should be having beads and staff of office. So don't brag, Kako, staff of office. No, I have my own staff of office too. I'm Dr. Meg.
Would that not be against, would that not be an aberration of standard ethics?
If we're promoting, African culture, women should do have staff of office. Women should do have beads.
I want you to take a look at this picture because it's full of a lot of questions that I want to ask. It's just like, I just want to quickly take you off before I come back again. I want you to take a look at this picture. I believe you all can hear me. I want you to look at at least I can see
significantly 2 chiefesses there, because by standard they are wearing beads, and one of them has the hostel, which is called the Urukere. But I want you to look at that lady that is wearing a bead, taking that deep situation, and I want you to, Chief Kako, I want you to tell me what is wrong there.
Let me tell you one thing now. Culturally, nothing is wrong. Wearing bead is not meant for comradium alone. We are promoting the culture. We are not the originator of the culture. In my little place, women wear beads. If you go to Ondo, you see a lot of women when they are doing their ekimogun, they wear their beads. If you go to Ijebu, Ojude-Oba, you see women wearing beads. What is so important in beads that we allow that mentality?
Chief Kako,
yes, sir.
It's a symbol of office in the comradium. Chief. If you're a chief, you can wear beads, either the neck or for your wrist, and you can have the hostel. Is that not an insult to constituted authority?
How do we know she's not a princess?
So if she is, or if she was, can she not respect standards, Chief Oluwo, Patron Oluwo?
Are you asking me, Oluwo?
Sir,
I'm asking Oluwo.
Valentine, please, I want to leave that question, that answer to Chief Kako.
Okay, Chief Kako, you are a chief.
Yes.
The woman suddenly just appears from nowhere, or it could be anybody. Ó dẹ̀ wọ̀ lẹ̀kẹ̀, a dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé lẹ̀kẹ̀ la fi adé orí la fi mọ báyìí, lẹ̀kẹ̀ la fi mọ joyè. Ṣé kò ti ṣẹ̀ sí ètò àgbékalẹ̀ fún ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu?
Àwa là ń kọ́jẹ̀bẹ̀ lákìsà. Ṣebí nílẹ̀ Yorùbá máa ní regent obìnrin ni kò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wọ aṣọ obìnrin, a máa wọ agbádá, ó dẹ̀ máa fi bíìdì sọ́rùn, ó máa fi lẹ̀kẹ̀ sọ́wọ́. Ṣá máa ní kó bọ ni?
Kò sí láwùjọ yìí tó bá wọ wá sáwùjọ àwùjọ
Tó
yín.
bá wọ wá sáwùjọ wa, ṣá máa ní kó bọ ni? Okay, I will give you an example. Bisi Fayemi was a brutal natigi. Tó bá jẹ́ obìnrin jẹ́ chief, just like Meg. Tó bá jẹ́ obìnrin jẹ́ chief lẹ́gbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu ni. Èmi dẹ̀ mo solicit pé kóbìnrin tiẹ̀ máa jẹ́ chief lẹ́gbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu. Káyé kó jẹ̀bẹ̀ lákìsà. Bisi Fayemi pẹ̀lú ọwọ́ òsì ẹ̀yẹn tó fi máa ń lu bass drum, gbogbo ọ̀là ń kóra wá kiri ńgbà yẹn. Direction tó ṣe nífẹ̀ẹ́ ṣebí yẹ̀yẹ́ ni ó wọ bíìdì ẹ̀, wọ́n chief wo ló ní kó bọ̀? Ẹ má jẹ́ ká gba gbogbo nǹkan bí igba ọtí.
Mò ń padà bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín, mò ń bọ̀, mi ò tí ì dé. Grand Court.
Yeah. In my opinion,
I have a different question for you.
Oh, okay. I was just going to support.
Yes, you can come back and support, but I don't want to lose my line of thought.
Okay.
In this situation, I am, as a chief, Chief Meg, we have almost everybody, all of you, you are all chief. You are all chiefs, as in cultural, traditional chiefs. Now, a chief decides to come to a gyration or to a Keggites gathering, kò regaliate, kò wọ 4x4. Àmọ́ ó gbé lẹ̀kẹ̀ ìyún ẹ̀, ìlẹ̀kẹ̀ oyè ó gbé wá. Ṣé ni kó jáde ni?
No.
Ìdí?
Absolutely no. And there's no argument about that. No.
Why?
Because
that's a gyration ground.
Yes. If you put on all your paraphernalia of a cultural or traditional chief or oba, which you are absolutely entitled to, yes, you can come to a gyration grant. But in my opinion, is you cannot put on a regalia. Because at that point, you are either confusing the comradium or you are making another deal out of it. In my opinion, that woman in that picture has every right to be there if there is not any chief or anyone that wants to object to that. The crops of today's chiefesses, they want to object to it. Why? I don't know. But if you are a cultural, traditional chief or representative of our culture, you can be there because you are just a representation of what the Keggite is. The only but, in my opinion, is, and I think even culturally with the Keggites, you cannot put on a regalia. And
So what you are telling me, Grand Court,
Yes.
Basharon Agbaoye, is that Chief Meg Oloye Meji nílùú ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ cannot wear her beads, ẹ̀gbà ọwọ́, ẹ̀gbà ọrùn, and to want to identify with the Kegite club, kọ́ wá regalate, kọ́ dẹ̀ gbélẹ̀kẹ̀ wọn lé. Is that not giving respect to the comradic, to the comradium? Pé wọ́n wọ regalia, ẹgbẹ́ wọn ẹlẹ́mìlẹ́mì náà, àmọ́ olóyè ni mí.
Yes. In my opinion, it is not right for her to put on a regalia. She is well known as a comradic entity. No one is arguing that. But at that moment, she wants to identify to her office. Tí gbogbo ìlú fi fún lóyè, tí gbogbo ìlú fi pawọ́pọ̀ tó ń fún ní oyè. Bringing that to that place, it's either she just does not put on her regalia and she can just be there. A good example was 2 days ago. I was in Chicago and one guy, but he's a prince, wore his beads and he was among us there. He was tickling everybody with his beads. No one could. And when one person went to him, he said, "I am a prince of Ede. This is my name." No one said anything. It probably would have been a different ballgame if he wore his
regulated.
Yeah, if he regulated, it's just going to be a confusion. It's like ABC. You are not a chief in a chief or comradic environment, and you want to be like them. Big thing you're going to realize, in my opinion, as Yeye, and as she has 2 titles, Dr. Meg. She's Yeye Mesho, and she's also Erelu. Yeah. What office is bigger than that to now put on Teru, which is a symbol of Batawa in school, in my opinion. So if she wants to be there with all this, she should be respected. But I believe if she's crossing from that respect and the title and everything that she's wearing, it's either it's been disrespectful to those 2 offices or to Aare, in my opinion. I'll keep saying that. But interestingly, they want to kick. They want to say it's not right. That's what we want to correct. That's in our own world. Anyone can put on, anyone can hold the staff of office. Anyone can anything. Okay. And we don't have a regalia though. And I want to emphasize that.
We will come back to now because we know that the inauguration of the Universal Archival Elders is coming up. I'm going to let you quickly have a short breath so that you can just take a sip of water. Well, when I come back, we'll be talking about the inauguration. Who will be there? What will be happening? And then we'll also be looking at the retrospect and the perspectives in Egbelemu. The program is supposed to stop at 2 o'clock, but like I said, in the next 2 minutes, but like I said, you will not even know when the time flies. So today I'm going to give like extra minutes so that we can
quickly address some of the remaining things. I'll quickly go on a short break. When I come back, we'll be talking about the inauguration and other icon. Please stay glued.
bí àgbà ò bá sí nílùú nílùú ń bàjẹ́ bí baálé ilé bá kú ní ilé lè dahoro. ẹgbẹ́ àgbà ẹlẹ́mọ̀ the Universal Archival Elders will be having its inaugural declaration on Saturday the 13th of July 2024. ìfilọ́lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ àgbà ẹlẹ́mọ̀ láti gbé àṣà àti ìṣe ilẹ̀ wa lárugẹ. ọjọ́ náà yóò dùn yóò lé kéńkà. The celebration will be coming up at the Ramada Plaza by Wyndham, Chicago North Side, 1090 South Milwaukee Avenue, Wheeling, Illinois. ẹgbẹ́ àgbà ẹlẹ́mọ̀ the Universal Archival Elders, an assembly of archival chiefesses, patrons and matrons, life senior fellows and inconquerors. The day we also witness the conferment of chieftaincy title on eminent Nigerians, inauguration and no taking of executives. Oríṣiríṣi ètò láti là sílẹ̀ fún ayẹyẹ má lè gbàgbé yìí. Ìgbínwó ìkòròwò ń ta bájíjọ wò gẹ́gẹ́ ló ń gún. Aago mẹ́rin ni ètò yóò bẹ̀rẹ̀. Program will start by 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Nigerian Time. It will be beamed live on Facebook and YouTube. Just search for Universal Archival Elders or visit Valentine Gbenga on Facebook or YouTube. To all I am carried and Supremos Comradium in the whole galaxy, I rotate my one finger salute. LSA Valentine Gbenga, your informal General Asoju Agba for the Universal Archival Elders.
The stories that are most important to us are stories about me, you, and others. Such stories are about politics, economy, landmark achievements, institutions, sports, and entertainment.
You're welcome back. The program is Your Opinion. To Kale Babisori Koniteti Womi, Olugbenga, Olaseyinde lórúkọ bàbá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, oyè ni mo jẹ́ tán fi ń pè mí láàrẹ. And I still have àwọn òdú tí wọn kì í ṣe àìmọ̀fólókò. We have been talking about socio-cultural issues, especially as concerning Keggites Club. My next question to this lady and gentleman will be, 26 people, are they going to define the life of millions of people that have graduated from school and have become fellows, fellowships, life senior fellows, including the life of those that are just born into the comradic mantra? 26 people. What is the projection? If statistics are anything to go by, I heard somebody say that we have over 10 million people that are on the sideline. Let me first of all bring the man who is seen as the authority behind this new mantra called the Universal Archival Elders. I have on the program on your screen, the number one person in the Universal Archival Elders Forum, Basharun Dele Ola Daramola. My question to you, why will 26 people decide the fate of millions of other Caribou entities?
Thank you. First, I want to acknowledge me being the number one that you said. I am just first among equal, and it's a pleasure to serve. And I'm just, serving on behalf of my colleagues. Having said that, we intend to be a mirror. We intend to enjoy the past lives that we had some 35 years ago. We intend to build it with modern technology. We intend to beam our activities as a mirror of what the comradium should be after you left school. I don't have to go over what defines individuals of these 26 that you just said. We have medical doctors, we have engineers, we have nurses, we have lawyers, we have people who have achieved greatly outside Nigeria in our group. And so we intend to have a group of professionals who would not only be a mirror, but would pressure even within the Keggites and the outside politically. We intend to make those who are putting to shame our culture in terms of what is happening to our obas. That, when we were young, you see an oba, you know that you have seen, an irumole, you have seen someone ordained, by the gods. These are things we intend to do. And that's why in our inauguration, we intend to have 3 KBACs. We have a Methuselah that will talk about all this that we have talked, and we will come together and discuss it about the Keggites of yesterday, today, and what is going to be tomorrow when we are gone. We intend to have someone who is coming from UK, and we have support from other big chiefs that we have contacted. One is a Methuselah of Chief Kako's set, and he will be coming in with his own opinion from Nigeria.
My question, sir.
Yeah.
Why will 26 people determine the fate of millions of other people?
Because we want to be a shining light.
The others are not qualified.
Yes. If you are not 35 years and above, you are not qualified. If you don't have that integrity, you are not qualified. As a matter of fact, we have a gateway that we're going to launch on our declaration day, that someone is going to chairman that gateway. They will look into everything that they need to look into before you can be a member. We want to hold that standard. Otherwise, we are good as 26. And if we have to live for another 100 years, we would remain less than that, 35 or 35. That's the plan. Something may happen tomorrow and we can open the gate. But at this moment, 26 are good to go. For anyone to come, we need to pass through all those gateways that is going to look into your integrity, your finance, look into your careerability, look into everything that you have ever been, to show that you're
Dr. Meg, you are a life senior fellow with heavy careerability. I dove my cocoa. Are you saying that 26 of you are the most eligible, you are the most qualified in the whole of the galaxy? Dr. Meg.
Oh, thank you very much. I just want to cite an example or probably ask you a question, if you don't mind, sir. When they want to get independent for Nigeria, how many people went there?
I was not there.
Okay. But by history, how many people?
Ask Chief Kako. I was not there.
When you talk about the number of people who want to determine the life and the change started from us. We are like minds. We share the same ideology, and we have the same passion to carry this to the fullest. Therefore, we found ourselves to be the most qualified. We find ourselves to be the most responsible. Just like Basharon said, we may, through the gateway, we may sample, we may source for others who can join us to drive this train. But so far, so good. This train we're having is still the best. And I tell you, we're gonna move mountains. Trust me. Thank you.
Chief Kako.
Yes, sir.
Walk and the constituent of your elders forum. Most of you live in North America. Are you saying there are no carryable fellows, wickedest chiefesses in Europe, in Africa? What is the plan?
Let me quickly use this comradic statement. Few are called, Many are chosen.
Many are called, few are chosen.
By
Few
reverse,
are
by way of
called.
reverse.
No, I'm just following.
Yes, I know. But
Yeah.
comradically, few are called,
Many
many
are
are
chosen.
chosen.
Walk,
The
Baba.
few in comradium, there are many. Sorry, I can take a little biblical knowledge. Christ was not the oldest when he was called upon to come and steer the boat.
At 30 years old.
Yes. So the few of
Please,
us now that are like
somebody
mind.
has his phone on. Can you please?
I don't have a phone with me. My phone is off.
Please go ahead.
So the few of us within the Achival elders, we are many. Don't count the numbers. Because when we combine our experience comradically, it can amount to thousands and thousands of people who are still there now. Okay? If there are some things I just want us to correct. We can, if you permit me, I can use this forum.
Go ahead, boss.
I don't believe in idea that say mele ṣe o, mele ṣẹgbẹ́ lẹ́mu pẹ̀lú pirate o. The world headquarters that Songitoses are singing that. They still have Wole Soyinka, the head of pirate, as their senior fellow. So what are we talking about? My objection
is that supposed to be so? Looking at what the Commandio stands for, are we going to compromise because we believe that?
No, we are not compromising. The issue there is this: I don't care whatever you do in your backyard, but when you are coming to my own father's house, drop whoever you are, whatever you are. We should stop deceiving ourselves. We have a lot of chiefs who are members of secret courts, but they are doing well in comradium. They are protecting the interests of comrades and fellowships.
Can you serve two masters? Is there a possibility that you serve two masters? Can your loyalty be absolute?
Oh, why not? Why not? Why do we have Ogboni, Awopa, and Imule? And then what are they? They are serving the same goddess or gods, the small gods.
Chief Kako, this is one of my distractions, so let me call it an attraction.
Okay.
Wọ́n ní lẹ́gbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu, ẹ jẹ́ n sọ ní àbínibí, wọ́n lè máa ń ṣoògùn lẹ́gbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu, wọ́n lè lágbára. Wọ́n lè, especially ẹ̀yin chief, wọ́n ní ẹni kìíní kan ṣékélé tẹ̀ mọ́ fún ọ̀tọ́ pé Ọlọ́run lọ́ba ní adájọ́ tòkè ẹ̀yin alágbára ládájọ́ tìsàlẹ̀. Is it true or is that true or false?
Èmi ò lè sọ sí torí èmi ò kì í ṣoògùn.
Summary, mi ò tí ì dárúkọ Chief Kako.
Sorry. Èmi mo sọ̀rọ̀ last mo ṣe rò bẹ́ẹ̀.
No. I want you to answer first before I throw it to Oluwo. Ṣé lóòótọ́ lẹ máa ń ṣoògùn? Ṣé tó lóòótọ́ lágbára wà nù ẹgbẹ́lẹ́mu? Because you guys, I mean, are we? Ṣé èmi náà wà bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí? Are we a socio-cultural group by tradition? Are we supposed to also bring that spirituality into it?
Is the question for me now?
Yes, I want to start from you, then I'll get to Basharon, then I'll go to Oluwo.
Have you seen any Oba that is promoting African culture and tradition that doesn't go through all the native things to be done?
Mi ò mọ̀, olóyè ni mímí ìjọba.
Olóyè gan pàápàá ó ní àwọn nǹkan kan tó máa ti tójú bọ̀ nkọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ má jẹ́ àtàn láwa jẹ.
Basharon, ọ̀rọ̀ kan yín, olóyè lẹ́yìn náà. Is that true pé ẹ máa ń ṣoògùn nínú ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu?
Èmi ò kì í ṣe o.
I think it's individual. Àwọn míì téèyàn bá máa dúró àgbàǹgbà mi nígbà tó ń ṣoògùn mi. So tí o bá máa dúró àgbà òun ṣògùn tiẹ̀ ni tó bá dẹ̀ tún lè because wèrè náà fi ń wo wèrè. So tó bá jẹ́ pé wèrè kan ń bọ̀ láti ìta tó yọ ẹgbà tí wọ́n bá lè yọ àdá ọ̀ tó dúró gbọ̀ngbọ̀n nǹkan kan náà ni.
Àwọn èèyàn kan fi ẹ̀sùn kan Olúwo. Wọ́n ní Olúwo ó yẹ kó jọba àlù nínú ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu bó bá lùlù ìlú tiẹ̀ yíya tó bá ti ń lùlù nìkan làwọn èèyàn máa ń ní generation máa ń dùn. Olúwo ṣé lóòótọ́ ṣóògùn lẹ fi ń lùlù tó bá lè jẹ́ pé ìlú kan lẹ fi ń lù ṣé ẹ̀yin náà ní nǹkan lábẹ́ aṣọ bá a ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ iṣẹ́ ẹ̀sán bá ń tẹ́. Ó dàbí àwọn.
For your information and for the information of our audience too, orí ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run ni.
Orí ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run ni apron tẹ́ ẹ wọ̀. Orí ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run ni apron tẹ́ ẹ wọ̀ sábẹ́ aṣọ.
Mo ti ń lùlù sí i láti bí ọmọ ọdún méje ni. Mo ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ kan, I will tell the whole world. Mo lórí ọ̀fẹ́ kan pé ilé tí mo ti wá wọ́n ń ṣe ìṣẹ̀ṣe nílé tí mo ti wá. Anybody tó bá fẹ́ kí ẹ láti listen, ọmọ alákòògùn lèmi láti Abẹ́òkúta.
You see what I'm saying? Lóògùn ọ̀fẹ́ o.
Ọmọ alákòògùn lèmi láti Abẹ́òkúta. Mo dẹ̀ máa ń lọ lé. And from there, develop ìlù lílù mi. Lẹ́yìn yẹn, kò ní anything ṣe. Tá a bá ń lùlù nígbà táwa ṣì ń ja eré tí a máa ń bọ́ ẹ̀wù ni. Tí bàtẹ́ bá wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn èèyàn á rí i. Nígbà táwa ṣì ń ja eré tí gan táwa ń pick, a máa bọ́ ẹ̀wù. Tá máa fi ń lùlù ni. Kò ní nǹkan ṣe pẹ̀lú oògùn. But at the same time, let us be factual. Part of the problems that brought us to where we are now is problem oògùn ṣíṣe lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu. I was at one coronation in 1985 at Fedeco. When it was time for the egungun to be brought out, that is the teeth. We just had the noise from another angle. Before you know it, people were coming out with different types of shams. Different types of shams. At the end of the day, we were unable to coronate that time until morning, when we felt we'll be able to see ourselves clearly and know who is doing what and who is not doing what. And from there, you now realize that most coronations now follow the same pattern. People want to be the chief of an Ilia at all costs. And that is why you see them going into courtesan. And they want to come in here because you have a more dancing to about logo, so they do the money.
Okay. So
I must tell you, one show lelemu. One show lelemu. O wa nu kan to ba lelemu je debi ta wa yi.
Ẹni so
ori lo so kaluku
ebomi. Àwọn ìyá wa wà ńbí báyìí. I don't know, but ìyá ni ìyá. Bó jẹ́ èyí tó bí ni, bó jẹ́ èyí tó jù ni lọ. Ìbà yín ìyá mi ò ṣòro nígbà. Arúgbó aṣọ mọ́ balẹ̀. Yeye ẹ gbọ́ ńbo lẹ́yìn fì sí ṣé lóòótọ́ ni? Ṣé bẹ́yìn náà bá ń lọ torí láti 40 years tẹ́ lọ àárí ẹnìkan tí ó sọ pé bóun ti ń ṣe jẹ́ and you have been so relevant, so much that you belong to this selected few. Ṣẹ́yìn náà ń san bàǹtẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá fẹ́ sọ publicly ẹ lè sọ sí mi létí. Ẹ lè pè mí lẹ́yìn lábẹ́ aṣọ. Ṣé lóòótọ́ ṣé ẹ san bàǹtẹ́ rí àbára àwọn akẹgbẹ́ yín tó ń san bàǹtẹ́? Because mi mo bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe survive láàrin Báṣọ̀run, Olúwo, Kàkó, Oníkùmọ̀ Ẹkùn. What's your take on that?
I just want to say thank you. Ẹ̀rí wọ́n ní adániwáyé ti dáni tán. Àwọn abanijẹ́ fẹ́ dé, wọ́n fẹ́ bàjẹ́ kò possible. Gbogbo wa la ní súrà, gbogbo wa la ní àwọn màláíkà tó ń bá. Don't let me go into religion, no. But having said that, ní tradition, Bíbélì sọ wípé nǹkan tí wọ́n bá mọ̀ ọ́ ṣe kò ṣe dáadáa. But there's some nǹkan tí à ń pè ní negative and positive. Tí wọ́n bá pàdé ara wọn, ẹ mọ̀ pé nǹkan tó máa gbé jáde ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni. Abeg to Sunny Ade, Ebenezer no dey o. Mi ò mọ báwọn àgbààgbà ṣe máa ń sọ, but èmi believe pé nílé ayé yìí, ìwọ ló máa mọ nǹkan tó tọ́ sí ẹ. But don't use it in a negative way. Tó bá wá níbi tó jẹ́ pé ìṣẹ̀ṣe lẹ̀ ń ṣe, tó dẹ̀ ti gbé sí ẹ tó ń lò positively, á máa jẹ́ fún ẹ. Tó jẹ́ Christianity náà ló ń ṣe, tó ń pe àwọn màláíkà tó ń bẹ ṣiṣẹ́, wọ́n á máa ṣiṣẹ́ fún ẹ lọ. Tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé Islam náà ni, wọ́n á máa ṣiṣẹ́ fún ẹ lọ. Ẹni tí ò mọ àṣírí ẹ kò ní yé wọn. Nítorí náà lẹ ṣe máa sọ pé ìyẹ́lẹ́ máa wò, ẹ lè rẹ yẹ́ rí. Kò sáṣírí kankan bì kankan. Ṣé ó ti yé yín sà? Tí ó bá jẹ́ pé oògùn ni wọ́n ń ṣe, tán bá ṣe positively á máa jẹ́. Tó bá dẹ̀ pé àdúrà náà ń gbà, tán bá ṣe positively á máa jẹ́. Whereby they use it negatively, á come back, á boomerang sí wọn. Simple.
Ó wù ní ká jẹran pẹ́ lẹ́nu òǹfà ọ̀nà fún ni ò jẹ́. Ẹja máa mú àdàgbà ètò yìí wá sí kọ̀lọ̀fín àdúgbò kan díẹ̀díẹ̀. Àmọ́ let's go back to what I was saying. I told you that was just a side distraction. Ká lè rẹ́rìn díẹ̀. The inauguration is coming. Just a few days. Lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run léwò yí ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ. A ti wà ń gbàgede níbi tá ti máa ṣe inauguration, ìfilọ́lẹ̀ àti oríṣiríṣi àwọn ètò míì. Wọ́n lọ́ba mẹ́ta ló ń bọ̀. Wọ́n ní àmọ́ bóyá èmi náà mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ díẹ̀. Wọ́n ní a súre fún àwọn olóyè àti fún àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́. Báṣọ̀run, kí ni ó ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ yẹn? Wọ́n ní lálá.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, akutuku ahu lọ́lá Ọlọ́run àtàwọn tó ń ní ayé àti àwọn tí wọ́n di gbogbo òpó tó di ayé mú. Ìwòyí ijọ́ mẹ́jọ pẹ̀lú agbára Ọlọ́run a máa ṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ àgbà ẹlẹ́mu. A ní àwọn kábíyèsí mẹ́ta tó ń bọ̀. A ní ọba Mukail Akànbí Sàlàkọ́, the Adókun of Ìgan Òkòtó. A ní ọba Ọládélé Ọlásọjí Vincent, the Sòókò Àdìmúlà, ọba Lùfọ̀n Ilé-Ifẹ̀ ní Ọ̀ṣun State. A tún ní ọba Abíọ́dún Mùlátò, the Ọ̀rànfẹ̀ of Ifẹ̀ Kingdom. Wọ́n ń bọ̀. Àwọn náà máa bá wa kẹ́yẹ. Àwọn náà máa ṣe gbogbo kò kárí ètò ti ìjìnlẹ̀ ti Yorùbá àti àṣà wa tí a fẹ́ gbé lárugẹ. So in other words, this time next weekend, starting from Friday, we're going to have the members, these 26 members of the Universal Archival Elders will come together to fraternize, to discuss about what brings us together, to discuss about what is going to hold us together, and to discuss how we are going to be a shining star, a mirror to the whole world, through our actions, through our beliefs in tradition and culture, and through our integrity, that we are going to fly the flag of the comradic tenets that we all grew up with in the years back. We are wearing a badge of retirees. We are wearing a badge of people who have that experience that you cannot purchase. We believe we have that capability, as it's been said in Comradium. Capability kò ṣeé fi owó rà. Over 35 years in Comradium, ó ti tó káwa náà ra máa ṣeré wa lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Tí ó bá ń wù wá, tí àsìkò yẹn bá tó, tá rí ibi tán ti ń jìgolo, á lọ síbẹ̀, á bá wọn jìgolo. Tá a bá tún wá rí i pé jìgolo yẹn kò fẹ́ bá wa lára mu, bóyá àgbà tí ń dé, bóyá nǹkan tójú ń rí, á padà wá sọ́dọ̀ wa, àá máa ṣeré wa. Eré wa làwa fẹ́ ṣe, òun ló mú àwọn kábíyèsí yẹn náà tí wọ́n fẹ́ fi wà pẹ̀lú wa. We're going to have Friday evening where we are going to have fun. Tí àyè ẹ̀ bá yọ, àá ṣeré wa ní ìṣeré tẹlẹ́mu. Tó bá di àárọ̀ Saturday, gbogbo wa pátápátá àá tayò. Àwọn ayò èyí tó jẹ́ ti ìbílẹ̀ gangan, gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ti bá wa kó wá láti Nàìjíríà. Tó bá di ọ̀sán ní aago 2, we want to be a shining star, a mirror. There is no African time with our own. By 2, we want to start our program. The Keggites, they would have had their seats. We will go and pay them the obeisance. Our Keggites wọn, á dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ program wa. We're going to have this program from 2 till 6. From 6, á bẹ̀rẹ̀ àríyá wa. Tásìkò bá gbà wá títí di aago 10, aago 11, a máa ṣeré wa. Eré tá a dẹ̀ máa ṣe, eré àwọn àgbà náà ni. A ní eléré tá a gbé tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní band tó máa kọrin fún wa. Mo rí lẹ́ẹ̀kan, going through the screen, I saw our flags. We have Nigerian flag, we have our own flag. We even have our own anthem. We are well grounded. We mean business. We have our own way of doing things that we want to mirror to the world. We do not have a regalia. We do not intend to have a regalia. We want to be brothers and sisters in one family. We are displaying that with our dresses. Our dress on Saturday morning is going to be different from the way we will dress in the afternoon. And every of our dresses are uniform. We have members who have contributed immensely to make this Saturday the true tradition and culture of Africans. A ní àwọn onílù tí wọ́n máa dá wa lára yá. A ní gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe nǹkan ìbílẹ̀ tí gbogbo a máa gbádùn ara wa. So I'm looking forward to that. We started this plan less than 3 months ago. But the magnitude of this is awesome. It's huge. All over the world, they know about us. And it's because we are all professionals. We are all elderly. We are the true universal archivals and elders who, are chosen. And we are happy to be part of this because we are truly chosen as elders. And that is why you cannot compromise us as elders. After spending over 35 years, some, like Chief Kako said, is about 50 years in this comradium.
So for the purpose of documentation,
yes,
before anybody can even think about joining the Universal Archival Elders, you must have been in the comradium for nothing short of 35 years.
Correct.
So that seems to be the primary requirement.
Correct.
Other than that, you must be of good integrity.
Correct.
You must be responsible.
Correct.
You must be disciplined. You must have been active through the years.
Correct.
You must be relevant, and you must think that you still want to be relevant.
Correct.
Right? So
Correct.
now, because you are the Basharum, and I, by privilege, I happen to be the public relations person because I'm doing my job as it is right now. So if there will ever be the gateway, what are likely to be the parameters for joining for other people in Europe, people in Africa? What are the likely parameters? We know that it's not been pinned anywhere until maybe when the forum meets. But what are those? Because as we are talking now, there are some people that are already longing, wishing that they also be a part of this. At some level, I'm sure there must have been some discussion. So what are those things that a prospective member will likely have to go through?
Yes, it's very simple. Without having to let out the plans. After our inauguration this Saturday, we are launching all our social media platforms, and we are launching our website. In our website, to be a member, you'll have to fill a form. I don't know how much it's going to be, but you need to get a form. And the form will tell you about 5 hurdles, but I don't want to let it out. The primary propellant is that you must be 35 years and above in Comradium. That is verifiable by whoever is introducing you, and the person that introduced you will have to be either a member from inside that will require you to bring another 2 verifiable entity. They have their own list, and they will have their own chairman, and they are a group, and they will be so powerful because they are the ones that will determine if anyone is coming in or not, determining the fate of a would-be or a potential member. But I don't want to, say too much because they have their own power, and they're going to be named, and it's going to come out on our website as from next week Saturday, when we are fully inaugurated.
Thank you so much, my grand court Bashorun Agbaoye Agbaoni tán lórílẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti wà lórí ìtàkùn yìí tẹ́ ń wo fọ́nrán yìí látàárọ̀. Mo kí yín tarúgbó, mo kí yín tomidan. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀tọ̀kùlú ìlú mo kí yín. In line of promoting our socio-cultural values, lédè Yorùbá, ó fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ kàn sọ gbólóhùn díẹ̀díẹ̀ lédè Yorùbá kí n mú lẹ́lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Bí àgbà kì í ṣàgbà oyè o látòrí ọjọ́ orí. In no particular order, but wọ́n níbi tá a bá ń pè ní orí àìfibẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. Chief Kako has been a chief for a very long time. Chief Kako, what will be your advice to a prospective member? Ẹnìkan tẹ́ wò pé ó dẹ̀ lè wù mí náà fẹ́ join ẹgbẹ́ àgbà, mo ti lò 35 years. Mo ní gbogbo ń tà fi ṣọmọkùnrin tó tó. Kára ó lé o, kẹ́pẹ́ fún wa bàbá. What will be in just 1 or 2 statements?
Yeah, anything worth doing at all is worth doing well. And in as much as nobody is forcing you to join, don't give room for anybody to force you out of it. And when you are there, abide by the rules and regulations.
Thank you so much. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ sọ lédè Yorùbá, mi sọ lédè òyìnbó yẹn náà. Dr. Meg, bó bá wù yín ẹ̀yin náà sọ lédè òyìnbó, bó wù yín sọ lédè Yorùbá. Ìmọ̀ràn fún ẹni tẹ́ rò pé àwọn náà fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ yìí bóyá lọ́jọ́ iwájú.
Ìmọ̀ràn tí mo máa fún ẹni tó fẹ́ darapọ̀ ni pé kónítàn wà selfless, kórí rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí nítorí pé gbogbo wa òṣùṣù àwọ̀ la wà, kì í ṣe pé kó má ya igi wọ̀rọ̀kọ̀ tó ń dáná rú. Kó má ya igi wọ̀rọ̀kọ̀ tó ń dáná rú. Ó wà pregnant with meaning, but ó yé gbogbo wa.
Ọ̀rọ̀ tó takùn síkùn bí àgbè dínkù àgbà. Olúwo owó tìrìwówó of ìlú Ìwó, olúwo gbogbo wa. Èmi náà ò ní pẹ́ jó ìyá pé náà.
Valentine, olúwọ́wọ́ tìrìwọ́.
Olúwọ́. Níwájú táwọn ayé ń pè yín lólúwo, olúwọ́wọ́ tìrìwọ́.
Olúwọ́wọ́ tìrìwọ́.
Olúwo ni kì í ṣe olúwo.
Ẹ ṣe tẹ́ tọ́ mi
sí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fìyẹn sílẹ̀. Ẹ jọ kí n tó sọ ọ̀rọ̀ ló dáhùn ìbéèrè yẹn, mo fẹ́ fà wá sẹ́yìn lórí nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ náà ṣókí ni. Lórí question kan tẹ́ kọ́kọ́ béèrè wípé báwo ló jẹ́ pé 26 of us want to speak for millions, and mo fẹ́ sọ wípé people just count these 26 elders as a lucky elders. àwa la fẹ́ ṣe the impossible. Let me use the Keggites style. Nǹkan tí a fi pé kò lè ṣeé ṣe àwa la fẹ́ ṣe. Ohun tó dẹ̀ fi jẹ́ kó jẹ́ 26 ni wípé tá a bá ní ká tún tẹ̀ kó ju báyìí lọ Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ ká ṣẹ́yún láì tí ì lóyún o. A fẹ́ kóyún yẹn kó ṣẹ́ nígbà tá ẹ̀ tí ì ní òun la ṣe ní wípé ká rò àṣẹ báyìí. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá àwọn kan abẹ́lé pé àwa táwa mẹ́rin la gbọ́n jù la mọ̀ nǹkan jù no. Àyè sì wà fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀. Presently gan àwọn èèyàn pọ̀ nílẹ̀ tó ń jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣàn fẹ́ wípé a máa jọba ń ṣe ni. Bọ̀ kájọ́ ká tẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú 26 yìí káwo ibi tá a máa dé bọ̀ mọ̀ pé ibi gíga òun là ń lọ lágbára Ọlọ́run. 2 òun wípé anybody tó bá fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ẹ̀dá tó máa jẹ́ pé a lè máa rìn sán
láàárín ibi ni mú ní pẹkọrọ.
Tó o bá ti lè rìn sán kó má tẹ̀ ìṣòpò kó fẹ́ súnmọ́ ibi tá a wà rárá. Torí àwa ń bára sòtọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ o níwọ̀nba oṣù mẹ́ta tá a dálẹ̀ yìí tẹ bá mọ ìjà tá a ti bára wa jà.
Ẹ ti fa kùrúkù ẹ ti
bára wa jà olóṣèlú pé be ready to be upright. Be ready to say it the way it will be. Tá a bá bára wa jà tán
àtúnṣẹ́tù ẹ̀. Ìfẹ́ ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó yá ẹ tí parí ẹ̀ ìmọ̀ràn fẹ́ni tó ní èròǹgbà láti wọnú ẹgbẹ́. Ẹlòmíì lè jọdún kan ó lè jọdún méjì ní ó tó wọnú ẹgbẹ́ àmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá nímọ̀ràn tẹ lè ya lólówó bíntín ẹ sáré yànnà náà ká gbọ́.
Ìmọ̀ tí máa ń ní fún náà ni pé kódà ẹ tó máa bá a ṣe kódà láti lò fẹ́ ìfẹ́ ni kó máa mú bọ̀ kó gbọ́dọ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ tó o bá ti nífẹ̀ẹ́ forget it. Yàtọ̀ sí pé 35 years is no going back on 35 years. But you must be of good standing and you must be ready to show love.
Àwọn nǹkan mẹ́ta kí n tó kúrò lórí ètò bí mo bá ṣe á jẹ́ pé mi ò wẹ̀ kí n yán kàìnkàìn ni kí n lè jàre ọyẹ́. Ó ní àwọn nǹkan kan tá a fi mẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu mo ti fàwòrán àwọn nǹkan hàn bẹ̀ kí n lè má ṣe àsìkò láyé lófò. Béèyàn bá ṣẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu one of the symbols òun fún lẹ́mu fúnra rẹ̀ kí n bá lè mú àsìkò ní péréte. Ní gbogbo bí tá à ń pè nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà kò síbi tẹ́ ẹ̀ tí ní rẹ̀ mu ó wà lókè Ọya ó wà nílẹ̀ Ìgbò ó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì ẹ̀ ni pé orin a máa dà wá pọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu ò pé bí ò bá sórin bí ò bá sílù. Ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta alédè tá a mọ̀ fi dọ̀wẹ́kẹ̀ ẹnu ìyẹn lẹ́bàá mi ṣe olúkálùkù ẹ̀ tètè máa ronú sí o torí you are going to fire and rotate in my father's language before you disfarahan from this telewire. Ó dùn mí pé ò sílù ẹ bá mọ̀ pé ògbóǹtarìgì onílù pàápàá òní Olúwọ̀ àwọn ilé lùlù tó yẹ pé kún ìjó sí mò ń ṣọ́ kí n ráyè kí mi náà gbóhùn sí microphone ó dìgbà tá a bá dé Chicago kẹlẹ́ mi mọ́ gbà á. Ó wá ní kíní kan tá a máa fi mọ́ra wa a máa ń pè ní one finger salute. A ṣe àfihàn ẹ jọ mo fọlọ́run bẹ gbogbo ẹ̀yin mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin tẹ wà lọ ẹ bá ń ṣe one finger salute wa bàbá tẹ̀lé fankọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ra wa one finger salute. The gods are seriously wise.
May you walk and never stumble.
Chief, can you bless Matua all the Alhajis and Alhajas at this area Tita for national peace and camaraderie Igbaladu?
Ní agbára àwọn tó nílẹ̀ tó ní ọ̀run, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún ìpéjọpọ̀ wa ní òní. Ẹ má ṣe léyìí ní àṣemọ fún wa.
Àmín àṣẹ.
Bàbá mímọ́ ní orúkọ ìṣẹ̀dáyé ẹ má jẹ́ kó wọ́n o. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká tẹlẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ níbi tílẹ̀ ti lójú. Ìfẹ́ tó péye ẹ fi sí wa láàrin. Àwọn àtẹnu máa ń jà ṣùgbọ́n báwọn kan ti lè jà tó ní rí wọn kọ́ fẹ̀dí ara wọn síta. Bàbá abẹ̀yìn ẹ má jà ṣinú bí o.
Àmín o àṣẹ
máyà. Mo burúkú mi ò rán iṣẹ́ ẹ̀dọ̀ funfun mi ò bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí yẹn yà sí sàkání wa.
Máyà o.
Délé báre àrìnà kórè àkòyà ibi. Ẹni tá a dágbére ibi tá a lọ fún kò ní mọ ìgbà tá a dé. gbogbo nǹkan tí oníkálukú wa àti gbogbo ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ tó ń lé Ọlọ́run ọba wá fi lé wọn lọ́wọ́. Ẹgbẹ́ yẹn jẹ́ ká mọ̀ sí dáadáa.
Maya.
Lórúkọ ti Bàbá àti ti Ọmọ àti ti Ẹ̀mí Mímọ́.
Àmín Jésù.
Sọ ní àṣẹ ti Ìjẹ̀bú. Fọ Ọlọ́run lọ́jọ́ ìní. Aṣámọ̀nà ìdè lóríkálukú ẹni o.
Àṣẹ o.
Àríbá ti ṣe àrọ́nà gbígbà o.
Àṣẹ o.
That's in the Jebusite language.
Agbára Elédùà o.
Àṣẹ o.
Orí dédé ẹni akànkè o.
Àṣẹ o.
Èrí mo wí ní wákàtí àrọ̀ tí rọ̀ mọ́ o. Akẹ́mọ́ nínú ara o pẹ̀lú àṣẹ Elédùà o.
Àṣẹ.
Maya siga. Ìbéèrè pàtàkì. Olúwo, kí ló dé tí gbogbo yẹn bá ń ṣàmì àṣẹ kó kí ló dé tó pé lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ilé mo mọ́yán, èwo ló tún jẹ́ mọ́yán? Èwo tó ni máyán? Ẹ ṣàlàyé bẹ́ẹ̀ mi bá mọ̀ torí àwọn tó ń gbọ́ wa.
Máyán ẹmu ni máyán. Wọ́n ní ẹlẹ́mu lédè.
Fún yín tán ẹmu lẹ wá fi ń dáhùn. Wọ́n ní àdílé.
Máa gbọ́ bàbá mi, máa gbọ́. Because nítorí pé èdè pọ̀ lóríṣiríṣi ní ẹlẹ́mu. Ẹlòmíì á ní máyán, ẹlòmíì á ní ìṣẹ́, ẹlòmíì á ní ìṣẹ́bùsẹ̀. Oníkálùkù á mú èdè tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe àmì ní ibi tó ti wá, a máa mú síbẹ̀. Àwọn àbíkọ̀ máa jáde pé wà, àwọn Ẹ̀gbá máa ní wà, àṣẹ wà. Ẹlòmíì á tó òun ṣe pé bóyá ó di pé máyán, ẹlòmíì á ní máyán, you are carried. It's a Keggites language.
Oya torí àwọn kan ti ń wò wá because a ti kọjá àṣẹjú tó wù mí ká parí àmọ́ ó lágbára díẹ̀ láti kàn láì jẹ́ àwọn èdè kọ̀ọ̀kan wà tá a ti lò. Kí ni you are carried? Ẹ kàn sáré ṣàlàyé ẹ jẹ́ máa mú lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan you are carried ẹ jẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọ̀dọ̀ Báṣọ̀run.
Tó bá ní you are carried, you are recognized.
You are recognized. Kí la ń pè ní comradium? Chief Kago.
Ìkójọpọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu pẹ̀lú ìṣọ̀kan.
Èwo ni fellow, life senior fellow? Kí ni ìtumọ̀ ẹ̀ doctor? Káwọn èèyàn lè mọ̀.
Fellow ni
àbóyè.
Gbogbo ala ní ipò hierarchy tí àwọn tó ṣì wà ní school wọn lè jẹ́ fellow, àwọn tí wọn kì í ṣọmọ léèwé àwọn ni tí ó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ darapọ̀ àwọn ni fellow. Àwọn tó ti wà ń bẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé oníkálukú ló máa ń ní ìgbésókè promotion. Ẹni tó bá tẹ̀lé fellow lẹ́yìn tó bá ti di fellow fún ìgbà kan pẹ̀lú akitiyan tó bá ń ṣe wọ́n á gbé e sí senior fellow àgbà ẹni tó wà ní ìta. Tó bá wá ti di pé o ti ṣakitiyan nínú ẹlẹ́mu náà káàkiri wọ́n wá gbé e sí life senior fellow bó ṣe rí nìyẹn.
Ìgbà wo lè yan patron náà wà lórí ṣé matron bí ìgbà téèyàn wà ní hospital ní àbúrò matron wo ti yín Olúwo àwọn wo là ń pè
patron àti matron bí ìgbà tí a fi oyè dání lọ́lá ni oyè tó ga jù léyìn bá ti jẹ chief lẹ́gbẹ́ lẹ́mu òun ni life senior fellow LSM torí tí wọ́n bá ṣe matron ó dà pé bí ìyá ẹgbẹ́ bàbá ẹgbẹ́ àfi ń dáyàn lọ́lá nínú akitiyan tí ọba ṣe náà ni àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òkè náà tó ti gba ọtí LSF àbábá yìí náà tún ẹjọ ẹ tó ti di patron ẹ ti di matron torí pé àwọn ẹlòmíín náà ń jẹ matron tí wọn ti di LSF. ìgbà rí pé oyè pé ok ẹ jẹ́ ká fi pọ́n wọlé àwọn bàbá àṣàlẹ̀ ìyá àṣàlẹ̀.
kì í ṣe dandan kéèyàn ó di LSF àbí kó jẹ́ SF kó tó lè jẹ matron.
àwọn èèyàn jẹ patron tí wọn tẹ̀ tí di LSF.
pé ẹni tó bá ti jẹ́ bí olùgbọ̀wọ́ tó ti dẹ̀ ń tà ń wò bí
ẹgbẹ́ bàbá àṣàlẹ̀.
ó dà lẹ́yìn pé mo jẹ chief kí ló kù téèyàn bá tún jẹ àbí oyè tán bàdàn ni àbí oyè tán jẹ̀bú téèyàn bá ti jẹ chief kò lè jẹ chief mọ́ chief Kako ṣé lẹ́yìn chief náà ló tún kù.
lẹ́yìn ọba ìlú kí lèèyàn tó fẹ́ jẹ.
èyí sọ́ba ìlú lè padà wá jẹ gómìnà.
a kì í ru ẹran erin sórí ká tún máa fẹsẹ̀ tọ́ ìlà nílẹ̀. so lẹ́yìn
chief náà tún ni.
àti tó bá ń fẹ́ di ẹ́rídà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹgbẹ́ wa yìí.
Èdè kan wà tó jẹ́ pé ó ló fẹ́ common jù pàápàá jùlọ tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́bọ̀. May your days belong. May your days belong. May your days belong. Ìtumọ̀ Chief Kako.
Àdúrà mi.
Àdúrà ni.
Ọjọ́ akópẹ́ ni.
Ṣé kò sádùúrà mi ni?
Pé níwọ̀n ọgbà tí àdúrà ni pé níwọ̀n ọgbà tí mo rí ẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ara mi, mo gbà ní àdúrà pé kí ọjọ́ yẹn pẹ́.
Kí n máa rí ẹ, kí n máa rí ẹ, kí n máa tún rí ẹ.
A máa ríra wa bá.
Tọ́ oníyàn ṣe ọlọ́bẹ̀ ṣe kádúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí kádúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọrùn ká má gbàgbé èjìká tí ò jẹ́ káṣọ ó yẹ wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ nìkan jẹlé bàbá kú lógún ọdún bá bẹ nìkan ò lè gbé nísìn. àìfidà pàdé bàbá ta ní fi pọ́npọ́ palábàrún ànírídà lọ́rùn èṣìṣẹ́ ó dèwọ̀. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ bá wa pé tiẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ bá wa rò ó ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ gbé kaná ẹ̀yin tá a jọ jẹ́ àkí gbogbo yín. Torí kádúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí o kádúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwa tá a ṣètò kádúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó ń wò wá. Báwa nìkan bá ń dá sọ̀rọ̀ tí ò sẹ́ni tó wò á dàbí àgbá òfìfo tá a kàn ń pa wórówórówóró ni. Torí ìdí èyí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá ẹ̀yin ni kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ nǹkan kí mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àsìkò tẹ́ ẹ filẹ̀ wákàtí 2 àtàbọ̀ ó tún lé ẹ kúrò lórí fọ́nrán yìí mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o. Ẹ jẹ́ wọn á dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn ọ̀tọ̀kùlú ìlú tá a pè wá sórí ètò kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí Báṣọ̀run Àgbáoyè lágbára lọ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ pẹ́pẹ́ fún wa òbí pẹ́pẹ́ tí í pẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Kàkó oníkùnmọ̀ ẹkùn ẹ ṣeun o láti ìlú Canada ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀ àgbà yín ò ní tán lórí àgbára àmọ̀rí yín bá. Ẹ jẹ́ n dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyáàfin ìyanu ilé ìyá ọ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ ìyá gbogbo LSF Dr. Meg mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín o ẹ ṣé tá a pè yín tẹ́ wá tẹ́ jẹ́ wa.
Ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́ o.
Ẹ̀yin làwọ̀ mọ̀ rí bá.
Ètò yìí ò ní parun o a ó máa rí yín bá o ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́ o.
Olúwo mo yọ̀ fún yín mo yọ̀ fúnra mi.
Ó ṣé àbá mi.
Èdè tá a máa fi ń kíra wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nìyẹn àwa tá a bá ń yọ̀. Lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ẹni tó bá lẹ́ẹ̀ni dé òun lẹ́ẹ̀ni dé bá.
Àbí àṣẹ o.
Ayún lọ ayún bọ̀ lọ́wọ́ máa ń yẹnu o.
Thank you.
Lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ń jáde òde òní lé yín wọlé o.
Àbí àṣẹ o.
Ẹ jẹ́ wá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n tún kàn sí wa lórí ètò yìí béèyàn bá fowó bá mi ṣeré lórí ètò yìí inú mi dùn sí o torí kétò yìí kó lè di àmọ̀ká káàkiri àgbáláyé ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ àfẹ́kétò yìí kó tún túbọ̀ sí. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò wá mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wá mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹni tí mo rí àti ẹni tí mi ò rí mo dúpẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá wa pín káàkiri. Agbára Ọlọ́run èmi ò ní kú ẹ̀yin náà ò ní kú. Mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan kó má dàbí pé mo fẹ́ gbàgbé. I just want each one of you bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń fire tẹ rotate lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan wọ́n wà máa mọ yín kúrò kẹfì. I want you to speak in my father's language to just say your bye bye lẹ́yọ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń fire tẹ rotate tán kẹfì lédè tá a fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ lédè ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mu. Bó bá yé àwọn tó wà lédè bí ò bá yé wọn kọ́sí àṣà mi mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀rí ṣe pé àmọ́ I want you to speak in that comradic language to just say your goodbye lẹ́yọ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan torí mi ẹ̀yin náà ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ má dágbére. Ó yá ẹ jẹ́ á bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti orí Báṣọ̀run Àgbáoyè.
My LSF Orodondo Ayanayana for awareness. Let house rat Telewaya the bush rat that the Memeswegbe of the Universal Archival Elders shall landed like Richard Landua next weekend. I have Bulunjo.
May your days belong. Thank you so much. Chief Kako oníkùnmọ̀ ẹkùn.
Baba, ẹwà gbá o.
I want you to fire and rotate in my father's language to say your goodbye.
May you all walk and never stumble.
Maya.
May the chicken never be hatched that will be scratched on your grave.
Maya sticker like that.
That is to say, may your third leg never waken you. That when your quaker is saying full stop, may you continue to say comma. That is to say, you continue to quakerize passe.
Maya sticker like
because
that.
it was written in the book of books. that every fowl, every chicken that will be scratched on your grave will never come to life. You are all brutally carried, and by myself, I Kakonikumeko Ajade Mat only one. Hereby say, you are all carried.
Mayansikali like Adata. Baba I dove. Ìyáàfin, ìyá gbogbo ìyá ọjà. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kàn yín ó kàgbàgbà. Ẹ bá dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa kí wọn kó dà lédè bàbá ńlá bàbá mi.
I, the yellow day of the archival elders. I am vibrating. I'm standing on my two legacies to say that all the Ojus, that is to say the Korokoro of the Ojus that are watching this program, may your eyes never go blind. The host, I say, you are melancholiously carried, and may this program continue to be generalized all over the universe. And I, as Yalode, I shall be rotating, and to say, I will be the one that will be coming, and you will be the one that will be coming to see. I have landed. May we all walk and never stumble.
We'll get Mayansikali like a data. Oluwo.
Valentine Aare fúnra rẹ̀. Èmi ọmọ ọdún méjì máa là náà Olúwọlé Olúfádé Olúwọwọ ti wọ́. I say you are all carried. I wish you all the best. Thank you for the audience. The gods still remain in skirt and blouse. You are all conspicuously elevated. You are all carried.
Thank you so much. I remain my brutal, sarcastically carried, pepsistically, fantastically carried entity. I am Gbenga Oguro Kukute tí ò ṣe mí ẹni mi kùkùté ara rẹ̀ lómi. Magi ò sí lọ́bẹ̀ ọbẹ̀ ọdún, ó pọ̀ lọ́bẹ̀ ọbẹ̀ bàjẹ́. Infinity gbóhùn sáfẹ́ raised to power I cannot decode. I want to sincerely bend down my cocoa to say thank you to every Oluworan that is outside there. May you all walk and never jammer any cataclysm. Thank you so much for being there for close to 3 hours. It's been a very wonderful time. Lè parí ètò yìí lẹ́yìn ìgbà tá a bá parí eléyìí tá a bá wá ṣe ìfilọ́lẹ̀ tán a tún padà wá. We're going to share our experiences. We're going to talk about it. That's when we are going to discuss some other intricacies about the archival, the Universal Archival Elders. On behalf of the whole forum, on behalf of all of you, on behalf of God, I want to say thank you very much for being a part of this program. Please, if you want to reach me, you can visit me on any of the platform, drop your comment. Please don't forget to share so that other people can also enjoy what you have enjoyed. To all I am carried, I say, may the gods continue to romance us sarcastically, pepsistically, and fantastically. To God Eledumare, I doff my cocoa. Walk and stumble.
The stories that are most important to us are stories about me, you, and others. Such stories are about politics, economy, landmark achievements, institutions, sports, and entertainment.